Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. How is everyone today? Hold on, this music's a little too high energy for me. Let's see now. It's a good song to like get the hype going, but it's just a bit too much like right off the bat. Let's get something. Hi, Desty. We're gonna be starting in just a moment. Get something a little chiller going, just a touch, just a little bit. I can't be too loud today. My partner is working from home today and she's got hella meetings this afternoon. So, I mean, we're on totally separate floors of the house. She's on like the second floor and I'm in the basement, so it's okay. Um, but, I don't want to be doing any screaming. I don't want to be doing any yelling or anything like that. It's no fun. So, yeah, no, their meetings are rough. I won't get into it because I don't want to dox her or myself. Because, you never really know what's going on. But yeah, oh, you know what? My Fugi is still on and it shouldn't be. Go away, Fugi. There we go. Ah, what what a week. What an end to April. Um it's not going to come up a lot. I want to get this out of the way right away. It's not going to come up a lot because it is a quick way to sort of ruin a chill vibe. But I got rid of the no politics rule in my chat. Um because you can't really get away from politics, especially nowadays. Like it's everywhere, and to just sort of turn a blind eye to it feels very irresponsible to me. So, you know, it's still going to be a case of like, hey, maybe don't come up and trauma dump about the current state of politics, but know that I'm there with you. I get it. And also, I feel like anyone who's showing up to my stream, anyone who's going to be watching me, anyone who's a fan knows my inclinations when it comes to this kind of thing. So, yeah, all that being said, Canada just had its big federal election yesterday, and the people who I can't, the state of politics nowadays, I can't even say the people who I wanted to win won. It's more like the people who I didn't want to win lost, which is great. So I'll take that as a win, you know, because nowadays you got to take the victories you can because it's rough. It's rough going out there. Anyways, that's enough of that. I don't want to get too deep into it because as much as I want to talk about stuff, it's not the time or place. Y'all are here for some chill vibes. Y'all are here to listen to my voice, apparently. More and more, I'm learning that. And to play this stupid little game I built. So that's fun. Desty, congrats on first, as always. I think at this point, it's just everyone in Ghostfish, anyone who watches Ghostfish, it's a race for second place because Desty's going to get first every time. Yeah, I hate that, Desty. I truly hate that. And typically I don't do it that way. Typically I do vote for who I want to win. Um because, if everyone voted that way, then I think things would be better. But this was one election where I had to play the strategic game. I had to vote against the person, which, means not splitting the vote. So it worked. It worked. Anyway, yeah, congrats to Desi for first. I did my med check during the ad break, so that's all good to go. Congrats to Peachy for second. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna shout some people out because I'm starting to remember to do this. I don't need the sticky note on my screen anymore. How nice is that? There's Peachy. Everyone go watch Peachy. Peachy's cool.
I'm straight
Peachy's
zerking it on.
What was that? Peachy? Straight zerking it? Hmm. Hmm. And I don't know. My thingamajig pulled up a random clip of yours, and that's what it was. Something about straight zerking it. And by it, you mean your, I don't know, something. That was June. It is a very June thing to say. the classic blunder, Peachy. That's what happens. She traps you and then she gets you. That's how it works. I've got some embarrassing shit I said because it's June. God. Although one of my favorite clips is definitely the June saying, "That's because you're one of the good ones." just just so good. God, I love that clip. Yeah. Anyway. Let's Yeah, June's got a wicked sharp sense of humor and really good timing, and I'm glad she started streaming because she's going to go really far. She's like she's got that perfect streamer vibe to her, you know. Like I'm kind of struggling to get there. I think I have a different vibe entirely. And I'm definitely not as fast on my toes as June is. Hopefully, hopefully people like this vibe too. But I do get worried sometimes. Like, oh, I'm not as funny as June. I'm not as energetic as Spooky. Oh no. Um. Anyway, let's talk about this real quick. So today and tomorrow, stories from Saul. Maybe I'm gonna put a big maybe on this. My this is gonna sound weird. My tongue feels too big right now. Um, I think from stress, I've been sort of chewing on the inside of my mouth, and that includes the sides of my tongue. So it hurts to talk. And I realize that streaming is sort of talking, like nonstop. But I feel like a game where I'm narrating the whole damn thing is gonna make it worse. So we're gonna see how it goes. I've got some cold water with me that I'm hoping will help reduce whatever inflammation is going on. And yeah, we're gonna figure it out. But that means we're gonna go as long as we can for stories from Saul. Best case scenario, that means I get my 2 days out of it. Worst case scenario means I stop playing this at some point, either today or tomorrow, and I start playing something different. Something easier that I don't need to read so much of. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Okay, Dest. I know, Desty. It's just so easy to get down on myself, you know? Because really, you watch all the big name streamers, and it's like everyone's sort of got a like an energy to them that I don't think I have. But it's okay. I think I've got my own energy, and if people like it, they like it, and if they don't, they don't. And that's fine. I'm not paying any of you to be here, so yeah. So yeah, stories from Saul today, tomorrow, maybe. Vintage story with Aza and June on Thursday, as usual. And then I'm off. So the plan is right now, I'm going to miss all of next week's streams. And I'm going to reiterate this the next couple streams. I'm taking a break. It's either going to be for 1 week or 2 weeks. It might be for 2 weeks, actually. It might be a 2-week break. We're going to see. I'm going to try and fit more streams in because I really, really want to. I like streaming. I want to stream. You love being here? That's great. Thank you, Dusty. I have at least one diehard fan, and I love you for it. Yeah, so I like streaming. I want to stream more, which is why I'm trying to do 4 days a week. It unfortunately came at getting ready for boating season. So like the next few weeks, I gotta help at the club. I gotta make sure my boat is not gonna sink as soon as she gets put in the water. I gotta help other people put their boats in the water. I gotta help around the club. Like it's gonna be a lot of work for the next couple weeks. So I'm gonna be taking a break. And if I can get like guerrilla streams mixed in here and there, I'll do that for sure. Because I want to stream more. Y'all, there are so many games I want to play. Like when I'm not streaming, I'm looking at my list of games on Steam. And it's like, oh, chat would enjoy me playing this one. Chat would enjoy me playing this other one. Oh, I need to play Cabin Factory, but that's a scary game. I can only play scary games on stream because then I have chat helping me out. Or, oh, here's a cool RPG that just came out that I don't need to narrate all of. I could play this on stream. That would be good. Vintage. I know Vintage Story. I'm gonna try. Vintage Story. I'll try my very best. I promise. Because realistically, I don't need to work on the boat like 7 days a week, but I might have to. Oh, I might have to. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I made myself a little chapeau. Look at this. Look at this cute little hat I made myself because I got myself a train controller, and I want to play some train games because trains are cool. Look at this cute little hat I got, so we can go choo choo on the big trains. I've got JR East Train Simulator that I really want to play. I've been streaming that on Discord just privately the last couple days, and it's super cute. It's a lot of fun. It's hard as hell, but it's really cute. I've got Derail Valley, which is like a really hardcore train management simulator where you're actually driving the trains, but that one has a VR mode, and the VR mode is so well made, like shockingly well made. Yeah, I want to play more of that. There was a big update to Into the Radius 2 like the last day or two that I really want to get back into. I wish I could stream 7 days a week, or maybe 6 days a week realistically. I wish I could stream more. Thank you for the head pad. But yeah, it's rough. I have so many games I want to play for all of you. And for myself, obviously, this is mostly a for me thing. Like, I really wanted to stream Assassin's Creed Shadows, but in my nearly 25 hours of playtime so far, the game has crashed on me twice, and I mean like a hard crash, like full on computer lockup, everything stops. I have to hold a pillow over my computer's face to kill it so that I can reboot it, and I cannot have that happen during a stream. So I've been a little gun shy about playing that one on stream. I've actually been a little gun shy of playing it at all because it's only done it twice, but like twice is more than zero, you know? So yeah, I don't know. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going to play Stories from Saul because I think I'm starting to build up a bit of a niche here where I play games I need to narrate all of. It was not my intent, but you know. So this game patched today, and they made it so that the screen has a sharp mode versus a stretch mode, and the sharp mode stretches it out. Sorry, the stretch mode stretches it out, obviously, to the full size of your screen. But then the sharp mode sets it so that it's pixel perfect as per how they made the game, which might be a little bit better. I'm not sure. So we'll see. Not a big deal. So let's get the game up and running. Maybe. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, so here's what it looks like. This is in sharp mode, where it's like pixel perfect as per the way they developed it. This is stretch. I think I'm going to stay on stretch because I don't want the letterboxing. Yeah. And this is where the font options were. So there's retro, which is hard to read. Modern, which is okay, and open dyslexic. Oh. Interesting. Huh. Well, I appreciate that. I'm not going to use it, but I appreciate that it's there. Pretty cool. Let's get the sound up and running. Okay, let's mute my music so that I don't have lots of stuff happening in my ears all at the same time. Okay. Wait. I said pause. Thank you. I know it does, Desty, I know. There's only two good ways of doing it. Either I pin it, but then I lose my pinned post explaining who I am. I also, which is why I set up a tag for it. So if you look at tag len times, I'll put it right here. I tag all of my schedule posts with that. So that's something you can look for, I suppose. Yeah, that's sort of the best way I figured out how to do it so far, other than just pinning it. Let's just get straight into it, yeah? Oh, before I do, let's change my category. Look at me. I'm learning. I'm doing the thing. Okay. Get rid of the pop-up from StreamerBot. All right. Or repost. I could do that too. Yeah, like repost. Because I post them on Mondays. I guess I could repost it on like Wednesday or something. How's audio? Is audio good? Everything's nice and clear? Everything's sounding okay? Oh boy, where was I? This one. That's right. Okay, last time there was a fight. I did take my meds. Yes, I took them during the ad break. Yes. I will live for another day. Thank you. How did you get a Mew in there? Dusty? Is Mew a standard character on your keyboard? How'd you do that? What? Is it? Oh. That's cool. Well, that's very fun. Okay, we're fine. So, last time we were playing, there was a big space fight, remember? What? Automod? Why would that be blocked? The term that got blocked was fat-fingered it. Like that little phrase. Rude. So yeah, last time we played, sorry, I keep cutting myself off. There was a big fight. We went to the O'Brien. We found that everyone on the O'Brien was dead, and there was a weird-ass mech in the hangar on the O'Brien. So me and Hanson got the hell out of there while we were being shot at, but the thing got past us, and now it's attacking the gun dog. We tried shooting it, didn't work. We tried hitting it with missiles, didn't work. The gun dog's point defense turrets don't have enough tracking to keep up with it, which in EVE Online, we call that speed tanking. I have not played EVE Online in over a decade at this point, but I still remember some parts of it. So we asked Dalton to give us his goo bullets. We're gonna shoot this mech full of goo and hopefully stop it in its tracks. Figure out who the hell's inside of it. So I need to get back into my narration. That's true. That's true. Okay. Before the other... What happened last time? Never waste ammo. That's right, because he shot at the thing. Never waste ammo, Corum. Alright. Before the other craft can respond, Hanson quickly maneuvers away, and you see the empty magazine eject from the Juno's machine gun. Grange. Oh, I gave this guy like a shithead voice, didn't I? Grange, send the ammo out on a supply launch, heading 0 Mark 30, full thrust. Yes, sir. 0 Mark 30 launch in 4 minutes. 4 minutes? Good. Okay. Hanson. You don't make fun of a person for stuttering. That's just rude. Get it done in 2, kid. Yes, sir. I'm gonna chastise him. I'm sorry. I chastise him in IRL. I'm gonna chastise him in game. With the enemy back in pursuit, Hanson brings the Juno up to full thrust as he navigates the armored frame above the gun dog into a location you know has the most point defense coverage. Cat ears. Hi, Pippa. I should have known it was you. It's either you or Peachy. Yeah, I haven't been mentioning that I'm going live in the Discord recently because it feels like that's all I do in there, and that feels bad, and I don't want to spam up the place, you know? Despite the pressure of the sudden acceleration, you manage to snap at Hanson. Don't be a dick, Cruis. He's doing his best. Pew! Simultaneously evading the fire from the Gundog and the attacking craft, Hansen still manages to exclaim his shock with a burst of laughter. Fucker. Get real. You're dragging me up on my conduct right now? That kid, Cruis, is a crewmate and our only hope of stopping this thing. You get the emails? Oh god, I'm sorry. You've got some priorities, Lieutenant, but... Oh god. Oh shit. Although you'd felt Hansen adjust the Juno's trajectory to avoid the approaching enemy, he'd not been quick enough and it slammed straight into you, shaking both of you and sending your armored frame careening away wildly. On second thought, I should have kept my mouth shut. Dude's trying his best, trying to pilot this thing. I could have given him shit for it later. That was maybe stupid. God damn, Corum, if you want to break me up, do it later. Now just sit still and shut up. Yeah, fair. Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew. That's so cool. As the attacking craft speeds away into the distance before stopping suddenly and turning on its axis to head back towards the Gundog, Hansen turns to Juno and speeds towards the front of the ship, moving to the location he'd instructed Dalton to send the ammunition. With the main monitor now focused on the open main hangar door, you can see Dalton, just as ordered, sending a supply launch rocketing towards you. The launch, little more than a large sled with a series of thrusters attached, speeds through the void towards you, and in a smooth motion Hansen moves to meet it. He deftly manipulates the armored frame's hands to grab the machine gun magazine tethered to it without needing to stop. Pulling back just in time to evade another blast from the enemy cannon, Hansen slams the flight sticks forward, sending the armored frame tearing through space and towards the opponent. Phew, look at this thing. This better work, Corum. Before the craft can evade, Hansen brings the machine gun to bear on it and holds down the trigger, the rounds all meeting their mark. Pew pew pew, look at the goo! Gooed up this mech real good, getting all gooey. As the shots land, the enemy machine is engulfed in a sudden expanding mass that billows outwards from the point of impact and spreads all over its surface. Within seconds, the attacker is encased in a thick coating of Dalton's compound, which sets as suddenly as it expanded. Yo. Getting covered in a thick compound. Leaving the craft's long appendages visibly struggling against the material's restraining property. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not who I am. I'm Seiso. I am pure and innocent. Ugh. Hey, that stuff's not bad. Kid's done good work. But we're not done yet. Hold on, Lieutenant. Despite being almost entirely encompassed in the sealant, your foe was still heading right at you. I got corrupted. I did. Where the hell do you think you're going? Whack. Hansen yells, sending the Juno straight towards the enemy. You're not going anywhere. With an impact that reverberates violently through the cockpit, the armored frame slams into the oncoming craft. Go to hell. Sure. Whoa. Oh, we got a... Hell yeah, we got a little knife. I thought it was going to be a beam saber for a second. I got very excited. You watch as with a rapid sequence of button presses on the right flight stick, Hansen commands the Juno to let go of its machine gun and draw its combat knife. The whole armored frame shakes with each impact as Hansen drives the knife over and over into one of the small portions of exposed armor showing amongst the mass of sealant. Pew pew pew. The world becomes a cacophony of noise as the clash of the knife on the armored surface of the enemy machine, the screams of the Juno's engines as they struggle to counteract the other craft's thrust, and the various alarms and warnings all fill the cockpit. Go down, you... Ah, hell. Suddenly, you're forced back into your seat by a rush of acceleration. Hansen, what's going on? You just about managed to turn your head against the force of the thrust to see Hansen shunting the flight sticks back and forth and stomping on the pedals. Oh no. Its engines must have cut out, but the controls have gone on ours. I can't stop them. What? The controls have gone on ours. Oh, I see. As Hansen continues to struggle with the controls, Vanessa screeches at you over the radio, sounding more panicked than ever. Cruis, you're heading straight for the hangar. Change course, Cruis! I've forgotten what kind of bitchy voice I've given her. Not that I'm a voice actor by any means. I'm trying! Cruis, you're gonna... Oh, shit. Call that a combat landing. I got an achievement. April 23rd, Planetary Calendar 214. Despite Ensign Cruis gaining an advantage against the unknown enemy craft that had attacked the JFS Gundog, a mechanical failure in the engines of his Juno 3 resulted in both the unidentified machine and the armored frame crashing into the ship's hangar. Oh, that means we can cut it open though. Maybe. Lieutenant Coram and Ensign Cruis were both quickly extracted from the armored frame and sent to the ship's sick bay. God, it's... Right? There we go. Upon being cleared for duty, Lieutenant Coram is ordered to the hangar to help secure the enemy craft. Outer Jovian space. The hangar of the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. Too cool. We made it. Wait. I'm keeping this save. We made it. You stretch your neck from side to side and roll your shoulders as you wait for the captain's judgment. Dr. Rosarium had done his best for the neck injury you'd acquired during Hansen's less-than-textbook landing, but the captain had been insistent that her sole security officer return to duty immediately. Sure. As a result, after a cursory once-over, the doctor had given you an anti-inflammatory injection on one side of your neck and an injection of painkillers on the other before sending you on your way. This had left your neck numb, and you with the vague sensation that your head could become detached at any moment. But at least you were up and about. Surveying the hangar, you know you should be thankful for this miracle. Both Hansen's Juno and the craft it had been fighting had entered the hangar at full thrust. If Dalton hadn't thought quickly and activated every single piece of Erector gear available, the two machines would have torn straight through into the belly of the Gundog. Whoa. On top of that, they'd slammed into the storage container that held the tank he'd been keeping his experimental high-density foam in, causing it to rupture and coat the attacker in the substance and adhere it to the hangar floor. That's convenient. Look at all this goo. This mech covered in Dalton's goo. With the machine stuck in place, it didn't take long for the Juno's engines to burn out as it pushed against the immovable object. You make a mental note to give Dalton your thanks later. Not only had the rounds loaded with the substance worked perfectly, it had saved you, Hansen, and possibly the entire ship. What this did mean, though, was that the mysterious assailant, which had torn through the O'Brien to pieces and nearly done the same to the Gundog, was stuck, irremovably for the time being, right in the middle of the hangar. Irremovably. I'm not sure I've ever heard that word before. Irremovably. It had shown no activity since it went dead just outside the Gundog, but having one of those eye-like cameras exposed didn't leave you... Is this craft secured, Lieutenant? Oh, I gave her like a deeper... down below. Is this craft secured, Lieutenant? Oh, yes, ma'am. To be honest, Cadet Grange's foam has done most of the work for us. With the amount of that stuff it's covered with, I don't see it making a move anytime soon. Even the tethers we used aren't really necessary. When we get back to Europa Colony, it'll probably be easier to remove the entire hangar block to get to this thing rather than carve it out. Is that so? Yes, ma'am. You wait for a moment as the captain allows your response to her rhetorical question to hang in the air. As far as capturing enemy technology goes, this could have certainly gone more smoothly. You feel a retort forming about how indestructible enemies with never-before-seen weapons bursting out of allied ships isn't something that you get trained for as a security officer, but swallow it. It's been a long day, and it seems to only be getting longer. Best to save your energy for something worthwhile. Regardless, you've all done good work today, Lieutenant Coram, Cadet Grange. Yes, ma'am, thank you. Dalton, who'd been lurking at your side like a nervous shadow this entire time, squeaks, the unexpected compliment taking him completely by surprise. I mean, that is, if the container hadn't been in that area, then we wouldn't have lost so much hangar space, and I'm sorry that... You swiftly but gently elbow the cadet in his side. Which is, thank you, ma'am. Very good, cadet. Well then. The captain once again leaves a sentence to trail off, half-formed. Bye, cat ears. Whereas this manner of speech had previously left you disconcerted, with its indication that there was something the captain was holding back, you'd found yourself no longer bothered by it. Whether this was because you were used to it, or simply too tired to be perturbed, was a matter you hadn't quite decided on. Dalton, on the other hand, was still clearly terrified by the concept of being in such close proximity to the captain, to the point where his nervousness was palpable. Dude, there's like 7 people on this boat. How are you getting nervous meeting the captain? If this was like Voyager, right? Voyager had a crew complement of like 80-something people. That I could get. Battlestar Galactica had a crew complement of like, what, 200 people? 100 to 200 people? Like, if you're a lowly ensign, chances are you're not going to meet the captain that often. But there's like 7 people on this entire boat. You're going to meet the captain, whether you want to or not. Anyway. If it wasn't for the rustling of his jumpsuit caused by his nervous fidgeting, you felt there was a good chance you'd be able to hear his heartbeat racing. As the chief... As the chief... I finished my assessment of the craft, Captain. Yeah, big lady. Chief's awesome. Dalton, stop screaming. Dalton screams. With an amount of grace that surprises you, the chief, having appeared from underneath the catwalk, grabs onto the handrail and effortlessly redirects her momentum, planting her feet firmly on the walkway you're all stood on. If I was having trouble narrating this last week, I'm having more trouble this week. Ugh, I wish I knew what I did to my tongue. Thank you, Chief Cathy's. And your assessment? Hard to say. Never seen anything like it. General structure is totally different from the humanoid construction you'd see on an AF. Whatever material this thing is made of don't line up with what we see on Martian or Terran machines. Even the samples of that titanium they make on Lunar didn't have the kind of durability this thing showed. Based on the combat data from Cruis's AF, even that'd have been torn apart. Plus, no indication of a traditional drive system, which... Your security assessment, Chief Cathy's. You stiffen as a wave of realization hits you, causing a painful twinge in your neck. As soon as you got out of the sickbay, the captain had ordered you to secure the craft. In your current state, still running on leftover adrenaline and recently dosed up on medication, you'd followed that order to the letter, completely forgetting about assessing any potential risks. Sure. Right, yes, Captain. There's no signs to indicate that this craft is active anymore. No measurable electronic activity, no readings to suggest an active reactor. Looks like the whole thing has been totally shut down. The only reading that showed anything was a boson count. It's surrounded by a massive amount of residual distortion. Huh. No idea why, though. You need a whole engine to put out the amount I'm registering around it. As far as I can tell, Captain, whatever this thing might be, it's not doing anything anytime soon. I see. And the pilot? If there's anyone in there, they aren't getting out. I've checked over all the visible portions of its structure, and there's no trace of a cockpit hatch or entry panel. With how strong Cadet Grange's compound is, there's no way they'd be able to break through. You must have gone pretty heavy on the cyanoacrylates, huh, Cadet? The chief asks with a wink. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. It's a good thing, Cadet. If you hadn't, this thing might have been able to tear its way out and continue its rampage around the ship's insides. Best way I can put it, Captain? I hope they've got enough oxygen and emergency rations in there to last them until we get back to Europa, because we aren't getting them out. And you, Lieutenant? You'd hope that the chief's explanation would suffice, but the captain had turned her attention to you expectantly. Oh. I'm not gonna bullshit my way out of this. I'm just gonna agree with the chief. I think Chief Cathy's has just about covered it, Captain. I didn't see anything that looked like a hatch when we were securing it, so I don't think anyone's getting out of there. I see. Nothing to add? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, did I choose the wrong choice? You spend a brief moment trying to come up with some other comment you can add to what the chief has said, but feeling another twinge in your neck layer over the already present exhaustion, you realize you simply don't have the energy. No, ma'am. Well, that makes life easier. Swift classes weren't designed with rigs. The captain takes a moment to move to the railings and places her hands onto them, resting what little of her weight remains in this low gravity on the support, whilst also drumming her fingers against them. As you watch Captain Bartermuse, you see the brief glimmer of a spark in her eyes, this slight change transforming her in front of you from the consistently disinterested captain you know to a canny, analytical version of herself. She turns back to face you, pivoting on the one hand she keeps on the railing. Excuse me. I should have drunk more water today. In that case, our priority is getting this back to Europa Colony where it can be investigated properly. The less time we have this on board, the less risk it poses to us. Chief Cathy's, I want those engines online now. Cadet Grange, I want Ensign Cruis's Juno fully operational and combat ready. If this decides to reactivate, I want to be ready for it. Lieutenant Coram, I want you on active patrol until Ensign Cruis is out of sickbay. You, Rumney, and Cruis will be carrying out patrols around the clock until we dock at Europa. Patrol as in inside a Juno? Oh no. This thing has shown itself to be full of surprises. Just because we can't see a way for the pilot to get out doesn't mean there isn't one. Carry out a normal patrol and then report back to me. I'll be in my quarters writing this up. Understood? The three of you snap to attention and throw a salute in perfect synchronization. Even the chronically fidgety Dalton maintains a perfectly still, professional countenance. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There we go. Very good. Dismissed. With a shove against the railing, the captain launches herself towards the hangar entrance, and the three of you drop your stiff postures as soon as she's out of sight. Hell of a day, huh, Lieutenant? You roll your shoulders once again, trying to get rid of the stiffness that's working its way back into your neck. That's putting it mildly. As you think back over the day, it feels like it's been a week long with everything that has happened. It felt like you hadn't slept for that long either. You're not wrong, Chief. As you look back to the enemy craft, you can't help but feel like its exposed camera lens is pointing straight at you. Swallowing nervously, you turn away. The unwavering mechanical glare fills you with a sense of dread. So what do you think? Is it really out of action? Like I told the captain, as far as I can tell, this thing isn't going anywhere soon. Still, doesn't mean that I want to hang around with it glued to the inside of my hangar. The sooner we get back to Europa, the better. And to do that, I need to get the gun dog's engines up and running. So I'm gonna head back to the engine room. That was such a bad read. Ugh, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired by Space Colony Studios, the game developers who made this game and who are paying me to voice this. They're not paying me to voice this. Although, that'd be cool, honestly. Apparently people like my voice, so maybe I should try and get into narration or something. I don't know. Audiobook reading. We've all got jobs to do. No time to stand around chatting if we want to get to our unexpected passenger back to Europa Colony. Cadet! Chief! The main thruster module on Cruis's Juno is completely fried. Don't bother trying to salvage it. It's gonna need a wholesale replacement. Understood? Yes, Chief! Alright then, both of you, get to it. With that, the Chief launches herself off a nearby railing and towards the hangar entrance. Much like you had with the captain earlier, you watch as she disappears, relaxing slightly once she's out of sight. As you look around your surroundings, you see that Dalton has already made his way towards Hansen's Juno, leaving you alone. You kick off the catwalk and begin to gently drift towards the hangar exit, taking one last look back at the hangar before you leave. Aside from the sounds of Dalton's exploratory tinkering on Hansen's Juno and the background hum of various air handling systems, the hangar was effectively silent. This made the sight of the previously hostile machine lifelessly positioned right in the middle of it all, the stranger. Right in the middle of it all, the stranger. Blech. Still, the Chief seemed adamant that there was no chance it was going to go anywhere, and looking at it now, you have no reason not to believe her. A patrol then. Yogi. So. No. Despite everything, both Junos are actually in pretty good condition, ignoring the burned out engines on Hansen's at least. Thanks to Dalton triggering the arrestor gears at the right time, Hansen's Juno was caught before it could get covered in the foam. That's handy. Okay, cool. So, we managed to survive the big fight. So the problem now, though, is, right? When we were on the O'Brien, we saw someone in the darkness. We saw another person alive wearing a spacesuit. We never found them because they seemed to disappear into thin air, but we definitely saw someone. So I suspect that person is now on the gun dog, and we're going to have to deal with that at some point. Guess we'll find out. Unless it's another member of the O'Brien, but how... No, that wouldn't make any sense. I guess we'll find out. You grip the railing and lean forward, shifting yourself into a position where you can view as much of the machine and the surrounding mass of rock-solid foam as possible. Just like the chief said, no signs of activity, no signs of life. Your grip tightens as you remember your encounter with it. Even though you'd not been the one piloting, being there whilst Hansen had fought tooth and nail just to stay alive had shown you how dangerous it was, how powerful. If it hadn't been for Dalton's foam rounds, how much longer would Hansen have been able to hold out? The fact that it had been almost unstoppable until suddenly deactivating had started to nag at you as you stared at it. Had it really been stopped, or was there something else going on? Yeah, yeah. Blah blah blah. Stack of crates is everything that Dalton could salvage after the crash. A good portion of our supplies were destroyed, sucked out into space, or are stuck inside that huge mess. RIP. It shouldn't be a problem since we're heading straight back to Europa, but if we're out here much longer, it could become an issue. No one's actually had time to check on what we've lost. With the hatches below the armored frames damaged in the attack, if either of them need to leave the hangar, they're going to need to go through the main door. Hopefully we don't need to see any more action for the rest of this mission. Yeah. Oh. You vault over the railings and kick off gently towards the strange machine, taking in every visible detail as you slowly float over to it. Or float over it. Grabbing onto a protrusion from the mass of foam, you redirect yourself, continuing to inspect the machine from a different perspective. You calmly and methodically repeat this process a few times more before returning to the catwalk near the hangar entrance. Like the chief said, no sign of any sort of hatch or cockpit. This thing may be powerful, but there's no way a pilot would be able to break through all of this. Hey Dalton! You shout across the hangar as you shove off the railings towards him, hoping that by giving the cadet as much notice as possible, you won't spook him. Lieutenant, how can I help, Lieutenant? You sigh inwardly. Although he wasn't alarmed or shocked, you could tell he was more nervous than usual. Nothing to worry about, Cadet, just part of the patrol. Making sure to check in on everyone. How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right, Lieutenant, thank you. Are you sure? Yeah. It didn't seem possible for Dalton to be more apprehensive, but looking at him now, you could see something eating away at him. Are you sure about that, Cadet? Well, I am. In the span of half a sentence, Dalton goes from a bundle of nervous energy to totally deflated. I don't want to be here anymore. Everything's going wrong and it keeps getting worse and I have to be here alone with that thing and I'm scared I don't want to be here anymore. Oh, buddy. Look at this face. Poor Dalton. I don't want to be here anymore. Hey, Dalton, it's all right. Don't... Taken aback, you tentatively move towards the cadet, raising your arm to lay a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Dalton bats your hand away, simultaneously wiping his eyes with his sleeve, smearing tears across his face. No, I'm fine, Lieutenant. I was just sorry. I'm just a little bit stressed out about it. It's been tough, but I need to fix the... You move forward again, but before you can reach him, he spins, preparing to kick off the Juno towards the crates on the other side of the hangar. I'm gonna grab him. Kid needs a hug, maybe. Anchoring yourself with one hand, you reach out with the other, grabbing the back of his jumpsuit a second before he can get away. No, Lieutenant, I've gotta go and do the, You strain for a moment against the forces of his momentum, but your grip holds and you draw him back to you. Lieutenant, I just... Dalton, it's all right. Having done nothing to stop himself, the force of you pulling Dalton back leaves him to slowly float into your chest. You're gonna be okay. As Dalton floats limply in silence, you keep your grip on him, but don't say anything, not wanting to push him before he's ready. I'm sorry about that, Lieutenant. I didn't mean to get so worked up. It's just been a really stressful day, and I'm finding it a bit tough. You move back slightly, giving yourself enough space so that you can look Dalton in the eyes. Or you would, if he wasn't dejectedly avoiding eye contact. Hey, Cadet, like I said, it's alright. This job's not easy at the best of times. It's fine to be stressed out. I know, but I really shouldn't be. You release your grip on his jumpsuit, laying the hand on his shoulder instead. Come on now, it's fine. You're right, it's been a really stressful day. We're all feeling the pressure right now, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that. If we're being honest, I'd be more worried about anyone on this ship who's not feeling the strain. But the chief and the captain and... Trust me, cadet, everyone is feeling it at the moment. Turning away from you to look at the strange machine amongst the mass of foam at the other side of the hangar, the trainee engineer sighs despondently before looking back at you. But how do you all deal with it? You can't help but smile at Dalton's question. I wish I could tell you. Oh. But hey, you move your hand from Dalton's shoulder, instead patting him reassuringly on the arm. You're doing good work. I know it's tough, but just focus on what you've got to focus on. Let us worry about the rest, okay? Thank you, Lieutenant. I'll do my best. All you can do, cadet. Letting another deep sigh out, Dalton turns back to the engine module he'd been preparing to remove, grabbing onto a handle sticking out of an open maintenance hatch with one hand, and rubbing his still teary eyes with the back of the other. I should really be... Of course, no problem. Okay. Ah. This game is so cute. Also, realize that the developers are Welsh, which might explain the name Cruis. But you'll have to forgive me for not putting on my best Welsh accent. It's just not gonna happen. No one to talk to. I'm gonna go into the mess hall. Before you even head into the mess hall, the aroma of machine-made coffee and pancakes wafts down the four-side thoroughfare, and your stomach growls audibly. I'd love a pancake. You hadn't realized how hungry you were until now, but with the scent of rich food in the air, your body begins to let you know in no uncertain terms that you are ravenous. Hey, Haru. As you step inside, you see Ensign Rumney leaning back lazily in their chair, slowly picking their way through a stack of syrup-covered pancakes, fork in one hand, cup of coffee in the other. They acknowledge you by looking over to the doorway and raising their cup of coffee slightly before returning to their meal. Before you can say anything, your stomach growls loudly again. A smirk appears on the pilot's face briefly, but is quickly dismissed as they go to take another mouthful of pancake. As they carry on eating, you decide to leave them to it for the time being and head into the room to take a look at the available options. Okay, well first... Chocolate bar for Cassie. You look at the vending machine and consider the available snacks. The thought of a chocolate bar seems appealing, and you take your ID card out of your pocket, slide it into the machine's card slot, and key in your selection. One of the coils spins slowly, and your bar is eventually ejected, landing at the bottom of the machine near the access hatch. I got a silent voice. Nice, I'll save this for later. Yeah, for Cassie. Okay, there is actually an achievement for this game. It's one of few, like, non-hidden achievements on Steam, where if you give Cassie a chocolate bar every single time you meet her, like every chance you get an achievement for it. And I want that achievement. I want to give my girlfriend chocolate bars. My girlfriend is adorable and deserves chocolate bars. So... Approaching the machine, you look over the list of menu options. You'd been surprised when you first got on board that the choice was just as extensive as the machines on much larger ships you'd been stationed on. The problem with this was that all the choice made it difficult to decide on what you wanted to eat. You spend a minute or two going back and forth over the various menu options before narrowing it down to... pancakes. You select the option that will give you an identical stack of pancakes to the one Haru's eating, and the machine begins to make a series of loud mechanical noises. After a few moments, the hatch opens, and a plate with a steaming stack of pancakes covered in syrup slides out. Hell yeah. You take the plate from the machine and head to the table to sit down. You assume that Haru's silence means they're not interested in conversation, and decide to respect that by not saying anything. As you begin cutting into the first pancake, you notice Haru look across to you after taking a slow, leisurely sip of coffee. Where did I get long from? Weird. Hey, Lieutenant. You've just taken your first mouthful as the ensign points their fork at you. Solid choice. You nod, and they do the same before returning to their own half-eaten stack. Hell yeah. Due to your hunger, you consume the pancakes voraciously, with it only taking you a few minutes to consume the entire stack. You notice that although you'd managed to wolf down the whole plateful, Haru had barely made any progress on their remaining half a stack. Feeling a little bit self-aware of your gluttony, you stand up quickly and return the plate to the meal vendor. As the plate is taken back into the machines, you exhale deeply, a feeling of contentedness and satisfaction spreads through you, taking the edge off your exhaustion. As the plate is taken back, you exhale deeply. That's a weird sentence. Just strangely constructed. Cassie would commit mutiny if they weren't working. Still in working order. Live off rations. Coffee. They take it pitch black and so thick you could stand a spoon up in it. Damn. I thought it was gross when they put their cigarettes out in it, but as it turns out, it was pretty gross to begin with. Ugh. Should I talk to Haru? I'm gonna save. We're gonna talk to Haru. Although Haru was keeping to themselves right now, you felt that with things the way they were on board the ship, it'd be good to check in with everyone. That's the thing, right? Like, I checked in with Dalton. Dalton needed a hug. Maybe Haru also needs a hug. Considering what she's offered in the past, that might be a problem. We'll have to be careful. I don't want to cheat on Cassie. I would never cheat on Cassie. I love Cassie. Cassie's my favorite. You pull up a seat next to the pilot, who gives you a flicker of recognition before continuing to slowly pick at their pancakes. Ensign Rumney, how are you doing? Probably better than you after that landing, Corum. Didn't think I'd be seeing you out of the sickbay so soon. Yeah, well, I was lucky that... So was Hansen out too? Oh no, he's still being seen by the doctor. When I left, he was taking him into the surgery wing. Something about artificial ossification? Huh? Damn. How do you manage to go and break something that seriously whilst you're up and about without a scratch? Oh, artificial ossification. So you just make a bone whole again instead of having to wait for the body to do it. That's cool. Well, next time you see him, make sure you give him the thanks he deserves for getting you out of that situation alive. If it wasn't for his piloting, this whole ship would be space dust right now. They're right. You roll your eyes and cross your arms. You know they're not wrong, but the thought of actively thanking Hansen for something... Yeah, I'll let him know. Haru returns their attention to their pancakes, continuing the meal, only interrupting it with the occasional sip of coffee. You sit there for a little bit longer, but as the silence drags on, you decide you've probably got as much conversation out of Haru as you're going to, so you push your chair back and stand up. As you go to walk away, you hear the sound of Haru's chair as it scoots along the floor, causing you to turn back. I'm serious, Lieutenant. Make sure you tell him. You look at Haru for a moment and then mentally shrug as you turn away again. I heard you the first time, Ensign. Don't worry. That's rude. Haru's right, though. Okay. We're here. We're gonna start from... We're here. We're gonna work our way through everyone. And by everyone, I mean Cassie. We're gonna go talk to Cassie first. Move to Cassandra's quarters. Yes. After you input the passcode to Cassie's quarters into the terminal outside of her quarters, after you input the passcode to Cassie's quarters into the terminal outside of her quarters, that's awkward. The door slides open smoothly and you step inside. Oh, she's not here. You quickly glance around the room. You quickly glance around the room. You see that Cassie isn't here, meaning she's likely still in the sickbay. Okay, well, there's really not much to do anything. Oh, hold on. You look across to the terminal and notice that underneath everything, it's active. That's weird. Cassie's not been discharged from the sickbay, so she couldn't have come here to access the terminal. Besides, no one else aside from the captain and me have access to her quarters. As you take a closer look, you can see that both her emails and personal logs are open. Why would these be open? With a few commands input on the keyboard, you close down the active session and shut the terminal down. That's weird. Was someone snooping on Cassie? On my Cassie? I won't have it. Absolutely not. We don't need to go into the captain's quarters. We're gonna head back to the Foreside Thoroughfare because there's really nothing to do here. Okay, we got ads coming up in 10 seconds. So we're going to... There's no reason to be in these quarters. Oh wait, yes, there is. I want to check out my quarters. So ads are coming up in about 5 seconds. We're going to take a quick little break, and I will see you all back in about 5 minutes. See you soon. It's coming up. Okay, so far so good. Oops. Oof, ouch, my tummy. But now I can eat more pita. Pita bread. Hey, pita. God, I felt bad saying that. I am not happy with myself about that. That's...
Someone do a round CPR on Shepard, please.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
I have no idea.
What the hell?
Back it up. Get away from the back.
What is going on?
We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's happening. Alright, we're good.
Are we?
Let's go. I have no idea. I got no answer for you.
If we ever hook up with a medic, I'd love a stitch on my chest.
Ask Castle.
Kessel. Kessel-san. Can you give me a stitch, please? No.
Keep it walking. If you're bleeding,
Kessel.
No. All right.
Inspector, go ahead
Loud and clear.
Hey, surround them.
Loud and clear. Stitching.
Thank you.
All right, let's go.
Nice.
You want us to mount charges on these fuel cells? Yeah.
I wish that was my actual voice. Wait, no, why? They're leaving us? No. I'm so close. I'm so close. No, don't leave me. Where would you like it?
Clevin.
I believe in you, Clem.
In the back here where the beds are?
Yeah, seems safe.
The beds we never use?
Yeah.
I mean, how about this? How about I put...
Well, we can just move these things that are in the corner and put it in the corner.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. I was gonna put the storage container.
Oh, whatever you prefer.
Oop, there you go.
Look at it, it's so cute.
It's so fucking pretty.
Enjoy.
Alright, are you gonna make it
You're
pop?
welcome.
My life.
X3 nuzzles pounces on you. Ooh, you so warm. Please and thank you.
Who needs fixing?
Oh, I'm alive. All I had to do was ask nicely.
Let's take E10 case off.
I am full of holes.
Need be fucking turn that vehicle around, open up the NG on them.
What? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Yeah, I changed the slugs.
Bravo, jump.
Here we go.
Squad lead, jump.
Jumping.
Caution, ramp.
Oh god. Oh, I've been yeeted. Alright. So I need to pull my chute at 200 meters. I'm watching my altimeter. Ground's coming up fast. Hi everyone. We're back. We're back. I went up and got some chocolate while I was on ad break. When ISO says that I'm gonna reset, it means I'm gonna refill on chocolate. How it works. I run on chocolate. I'm a chocolate-powered robot. I was gonna move into my quarters. And I was gonna look at my box. You quickly cycle through the various systems on your terminal, checking that everything is working as normal. As far as you can tell, it is. That is, until you enter your credentials to check your electronic mail. Jeez, what's going on? You try selecting various functions, but nothing responds. In a panic, you mash the keyboard, but nothing works. We've been hacked! Then, as unexpectedly as it had started, the noise ends. What was that all about? We've been hacked! We got a virus on board! That's not good. You make a few more experimental choices and everything seems to be working as normal again. Well, I guess that's something to ask the chief about. It's not great. Maybe just a few seconds of sitting down. Oh, no, I'm gonna fall asleep. No, come on, I've got a patrol to finish. Yeah. No, I don't want to fall asleep. Okay, yeah, let's leave. Okay, we're gonna go see Cassie. We've already been in the hangar. We've been into the mess hall. I guess we'll talk to fire control. You'd been ordered to carry out a security patrol by the captain, and with you being up to speed with what was going on in the hangar, that meant fire control was your next stop. As you step into the small room, you're surprised as Dylan turns around immediately. Hey, Lieutenant, did they send you to check up on me? Yeah? Chill. Just a standard security patrol, D's. How's it all going? I will never be able to read this guy's name without laughing. The normally placid warrant officer rolls his eyes, theatrically slumping back in his chair and gesturing to the monitors all around him with visible frustration. Oh, you know, great. I've been ordered to remain on high alert, but the issue with the long-range targeting system is even worse than before, so I can't actually do anything unless we've got a target in visual range. Which means I've got to keep looking at every one of these screens all the time and nothing else. So, you know, living the dream. What's wrong with the long-range system? Is it Fino? Same thing as before, just worse. That's how the enemy got the drop on us. We didn't know they were there until they were right on top of us. Otherwise, I might have been able to get some shots in from the main guns. Might have been able to do something against that machine at least. Not like the point defense cannons were any use. I swear I almost got it so many times, but it moved faster than the cannons could, and even when I tried to lead the target, it was too erratic to figure out where it'd be. Ugh. With a groan, Dylan slides further into his chair and kicks off the floor, sending the chair spinning in a slow circle. As he rotates, he glances over all the monitors before turning back to you. But yeah, anyway, the long-range targeting system's almost completely useless right now. It's been fuzzy since this morning, but it got way worse when that thing showed up. I've tried to ask the chief to take a look at it, but she's still busy with the engines and everything else going on, so like... He looks over the top of his glasses at you and shrugs. It is what it is, you know? Dylan makes another rotation, this time gently brushing his hand over the targeting system controls, shifting their focus slightly as he rotates past them. So what's up with you, Lieutenant? Got pretty gnarly out there, huh? You alright? You take a moment to rub your neck. You'd noticed it was beginning to stiffen and the pain was creeping in around the edges. Hopefully whatever the doctor had given you would hold out for a few more hours. Yeah, not too bad, Deez. Thanks for asking. That's good, yeah. I could see Hansen's Juno through the cameras. Pulled some pretty sick maneuvers. He must have been really hanging on in there. You think back to how you'd been thrown around the cockpit by some of Hansen's stunts. The The experience of clinging onto the temporary passenger seat wasn't one you wanted to relive soon. You're not wrong. Things got pretty wild out there. I'm just glad we made it back in one piece. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't do more to help you out with the Gundog's weapons, you know? Just everything was way too slow. You smile and wave your hands subtly to dismiss Dylan's concerns. Oop. Don't worry about it, Deez. We couldn't do much against it either. I don't think there's anything on board that could have taken that thing out. Yeah, you might be right, huh? A silence hangs between the two of you, and you're about to make your excuse to leave before Dylan leans forward in his seat, looking you dead in the eyes and speaks in a hushed tone. So, like, what is that thing, Lieutenant? What happened on the O'Brien? Is it Martian? Terran? What's the deal? Have we got to the pilot yet? You place your hands on your hips before shifting your weight onto one foot and crossing your arms instead. Whilst exhaling deeply, you break the eye contact and look around the room at the monitors, finally looking back to Dylan, who sits there staring at you expectantly. Honestly, Deez, I've got no idea. All I know is that it blew the O'Brien to pieces and then came for the Gundog, and nothing we've got seems to have been able to scratch it. Dylan lets out a loud sigh, making his frustration obvious. Great, okay. Well, thanks anyway, Lieutenant. Guess I better get back to these monitors in case another one comes looking for its friend. Sure, I'll check in on you later, Deez. With that, Dylan turns back to the walls of monitors, and you watch him begin to idly prod the controls, adjusting and shifting views on some screens and altering the focus on others. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna leave. Hey, Orpheus? Welcome, welcome. We made it through the big fight. And now we're talking to people. No, you know what? I feel bad not actually looking at stuff. Hey, congrats on third. Long range systems out of action. Some of the displays look fuzzier than normal. Yeah. Dylan must have had a handful for the point of phones. Blah, 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 blah. I can't speak anymore. Use. And Yuri too. Hi, Yuri. Welcome, welcome. Y'all are showing up just now. I wonder if maybe I should be starting my streams at 4 instead of 3. That's okay though. About done with a small animation. Whoa, Little Miss Yuri, that is way more than I expected. I sincerely expected like basic, like super simple, you know, like my toaster. The toaster I got from Stray the Cat, which is really, really cute. Teeny weeny, I mean, listen, that anyone wants to put a single pixel down to play around with, you know, my character, I'm super happy. Thank you for the head pat. Root access. Hack, 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 hack. What'd you get? They may be steel, but they still feel a book. So I went through my redeems a little bit, all of that, and I shrunk a lot of the names down because a lot of them were very long. Hey, it turns out when I write things, I'm a little too verbose. I like to write stuff, and no one wants that much text on like their screen. So a lot of them got truncated, a lot of them got shrunk down. A couple of them got just changed completely. But yeah, it's okay. I think it's okay. Various points, fuzzier than others. Just waiting for that to happen. Oh, these. Little hint about the animation. Cat. Yay. I'm excited. I am excited to see it. It's gonna be very, very cute. I'm sure of it. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, D's. Yes, Lieutenant. How come you're not listening to your music? With a loud groan, Dylan leans back in his chair and stares at the ceiling for a moment before looking back to you. I'm on high alert, and because the long-range system's out, that means that we're on visual range targeting only, so I don't get any early warnings or detection notices. I've got to be on lookout the entire time, so I can't put an album on or take it easy. It's killing me. I see. But what good's it even gonna do if I see another one of those things? The Gundog's weapons couldn't keep up with the one that made itself at home right inside the ship. Ugh, I mean, do we even know it's out of commission for real? No. You grit your teeth. You'd like to give Dylan some reassurance, but you were having similar thoughts yourself. I just want I just want the chief to fix it so I can get back to my music. I feel like if I have to sit here in silence for much longer, I'm gonna go nuts. Mood. Well, if I get the chance, I'll bring it up with her, alright? Nice. Thanks, Lieutenant. No problem, D's. Nuts. Nuts. These nuts. So we have been everywhere, so we're gonna go see Cassie. First thing we're gonna see is Cassie. Hey, yo. Trying to finish it by today, but 2 of my friends asked me to draw them 2 completely different things. That's okay. That's totally fine. I wanted to ask, because I went and checked your Blue Sky thing, because I saw that you followed me on Blue Sky. Did you make your Blue Sky account just to follow me? Because, like, you've got nothing on there. It's blank. If you did, that's super sweet. I'm very cool. Cool that anyone would make an account to follow me. Let's see. You did? That's so sweet. Thank you. Let's go see Cassie. I want to go see Cassie. Even before the elevator's doors open, your hand is raised to preempt the harsh brightness of the sickbay's lighting. The powerful aroma of disinfectant wafts into the elevator as the doors slide open and the light shines brightly through the widening gap. Accustomed to both these features of the sickbay, you're no longer bothered by them. You did, Slay Queen. Thank you, though. Thank you for real. As always, everything appears in order, although you quickly notice that the doctor isn't at his desk. Looking over to the left of the room, you see a light illuminated above the doorway leading to the surgery wing, with its large gallery window having taken on a frosted effect, obscuring the view of the inside beyond some vague shapes. The doctor had been able to patch you up pretty quickly, leaving Hansen to wait for the necessary procedure that now seemed to be underway. Looking back to the beds, you see Cassie tossing and turning uncomfortably. She'd been fast asleep when you and Hansen were brought in, to the point where you wondered if she'd been sedated. But now she was fidgeting and groaning, appearing in genuine discomfort. Cassie? Cassie, is everything alright? You lay your hand on her shoulder and take her hand in yours. Oh, she's so cute. Every time she's on screen, I love her. She makes some noises. Hey, Cassie, can you hear me? What's wrong? Oh, it's you, Len. How was the mission? Did everything... Oh no, her migraine. As she lets out a scream, Cassie yanks her hand away from yours, bringing it up to her head and using it alongside her free hand as if trying to hold her head together. Oh no, I'm not going to make these screaming noises. Ah! Completely overtaken by pain, Cassie thrashes around on the bed. It's all you can do to stop her from throwing herself off it. Hey Cassie, it's alright. It's going to be okay. You look around in a panic, unsure of what to do. Your first instinct is to get Dr. Rosarium, but as he's in the middle of a surgical procedure, you don't think he'd be able to drop everything just to come to Cassie. Cassie, did the doctor leave you anything? Any instructions? Any tablets? Yeah! Cassie, come on, anything? Pills on the counter. Without a moment's hesitation, you dash over to the countertop where you can see a half-spent blister of tablets atop a box of more of the same. You grab a nearby small glass, fill it with the water from the hand-washing station, and then take it and the tablets over to Cassie. Wow, those are some fast-acting drugs. Damn. Oh, she passed out. I understand. Hey, Cassie, wake up and take these. Come on. You slide your arm under Cassie's back and gently bring her to an upright position, keeping your arm in place to prop her up. Oh, hey, honey, These are the tablets you mentioned, right? Cassandra, still in a daze, blinks at the glass of water and pills you hold up to her, slowly reaching out to take the glass and then some tablets. Oh yeah, the doctor said they'd help the headaches. Dreamily, she places 2 in her mouth and you help her with the glass of water. She drains it, and after you take it off her, you lower her back down onto the bed. Thanks, sweetie. Oh. Oh, Cassie. You remain standing over Cassandra for a few minutes, but it looks like she's fallen into the same heavy slumber that she was in when you were brought down here earlier. You squeeze her hand before turning to leave, But before you can step away, you feel a gentle grip on your wrist. Hey, come back in a bit. I want to hear about your day, I imagine. Yeah, poor girl, I know. Before she can finish the sentence, Cassie slumps back onto the bed, releasing you. Sure thing, Cassie. Can I use the chocolate bar? I want to give her chocolate bar. Cassie, I wish there was something I could do for you. Even if I can't be here when you wake up, just something to let you know it's okay. Reaching into your jacket pocket, you pull out the chocolate bar you'd bought from the vending machine during your earlier visit to the mess hall. You furtively look back to the frosted glass of the surgery wing and, assuming that the doctor is still occupied with whatever procedure he's carrying out on Hansen, covertly slide it under Cassie's pillow. It's gonna melt, dude. It's not much, but it's the least you can do to keep her spirits up. That's gonna melt. Let Dr. Rosarium catch you with that, okay? If he knew how much junk you'd been eating from the vending machines, he'd probably get the captain to block your access. With a soft smile on your face, you gently move a few errant strands of hair from her face before squeezing her hand again and moving away. She's so sweet. Oh, wait. Oh no. Y'all, I think I'm getting near the end of the game because I just got the Cassie achievement. Give Cassie a chocolate bar for every chance you can. To, like, every time you talk to her. I just got that achievement. I think I might be getting near the end of the game. Because that implies I won't have another chance to give her chocolate. Whoa. Okay. Can't talk to the doctor. Can't make out much of what's going on in there. Probably for the best. I'm glad that Dr. Rosarium had left Cassandra's medication out on the countertop. If he'd locked them back up, I might have been forced to break into the cabinets. Hey, y'all, remember? Remember on the O'Brien how all of these had been smashed? And all of the... Although it was food packs that were ripped open, not medication. So... Check the airlock. After we'd brought the Gundog back online, the whole crew had been reminded about the locations of emergency space suits throughout the ship. The attack from that machine was so sudden, though, that there was no chance for anyone to put one on. If its attack had been successful, it probably wouldn't have made much difference to the crew's survival if they'd been wearing one or not. I mean, yeah, no issues here. Oh. Blech. Bye, cat ears. You're very cute. I've had enough views into space from this room to last me a lifetime. The only time I ever want to see this door open is when we're docked. Mood. So there's really... This looks like it's a normal working order. Can I look outside real quick? Any imminent threats hurtling towards us? Take a look. Doesn't look like it. Nothing that I can see. Nope. Okay. I guess let's skedaddle. Went to the sick bay. I'll go up to the bridge later to talk to the captain once I'm done all of my checks. Let's go into the armory. No one here. Everything looks fine. Can I grab a gun? Doesn't look like the issues we've been having have affected the armory's security system. Not that I'd be too worried even if it had. You need the captain's authority to access the armory anyway. I'm the only person on the ship allowed in here. Well, we definitely have a passenger, I'm sure of that. The risks of an enemy pilot emerging from that machine are near zero, so definitely not worth me spending my time wandering around in one of these. I've got a full cylinder of electroshock rounds right now, which is more than enough. I don't need anything else. Yeah, I do have my gun. So... I still have Cassandra's keycard. Alright, so nothing in here. Let's go into engineering. You pass through the stillness of the aft thoroughfare and head into the thrumming depths of the engineering department. As you make your way through, you look around for any sign of the chief, starting with the catwalks and workstations above you, then the machinery that fills the level you're on, and finally finishing your search by scanning the levels below you. Hey, Chief! Chief, are you in here, Chief? Taking a deep breath, you cup your hands around your mouth and shout. Chief? I'm not gonna shout. You wait for a moment, but with no response forthcoming, you decide that you can be sure the chief isn't in engineering. She's in the engines, dude. Despite the level of noise coming from all the various systems, it wasn't like the engineering was that loud. Instead of carrying on your search for Chief Cathy's, you turn your attention to the engineering department in general, quickly going through your mental list of checks that make up your patrol's report. As far as you can tell, everything seems in order, leaving you without much to dwell on. Okay. That thing is, it's probably really important. Yep. Almost certain that thing's a power distribution. It distributes power to rechargeable batteries at least. Sure. Is there anything else I can click on in here? No, eh? Wonder if the terminal in my quarters acting weird had anything to do with the central computer going offline earlier. I'll ask the chief to look into it when she's got the time. Can I move in here? You take a moment to pause outside the door leading into the small room containing the interface for the ship's central computer. Despite looking much like any other door on the ship, made distinct only by the stenciled paintwork stating that what lies within is the ship's mainframe, you can feel the weight of the significance of what lies behind it. It had only been a few hours ago that you desperately hooked up the portable subterminal and used the last of its battery to open the door, allowing you to make your way inside and reactivate the computer, and with it, the gun dog. You find a small amount of dark humor in the fact that you'd rather be dealing with those circumstances again rather than what was happening now, despite the stress you'd felt at the time. You really never know what you've gotten until after it's gone. You run your hand over the cool metal of the door. It's not like I can get in here anyway. Access is restricted to the captain and Cassie. I have Cassie's e-card. Wait, chat. Oh. We're going in. Oh, wait. Oh, no. You dig around in your pocket and pull out Cassie's keycard. I totally forgot I had this. You turn the card over in your hand a few times, thinking about how, since it wasn't your card and it had access beyond your rank, you should have really handed it in earlier. However, given the circumstances and everything that had gone on today, you had a feeling that it might be worth hanging on to. With what happened with the central computer earlier, it's probably worth checking up on it. You run the card through the card reader to the side of the door, and after a brief delay, the terminal flashes a message, access granted, and the door begins to slide open. As the opening door reveals a glimpse into the room, you spot a hint of movement within the cramped interior. What? Without hesitation, you draw your electroshock weapon and aim it into the room, waiting for the door to fully open to reveal whoever's inside. Hold it. Yo? You step into the empty room and look around. The room is so small that you could already see the majority of it through the doorway. There was nowhere that anyone would be able to hide. As you stood alone in the room, the only thing that was moving was your hair, which was being gently blown around by the overhead ventilation. You look upwards. As small as it was in terms of floor space, the room's ceiling was so far above you that you couldn't make it out in the gloom. You only knew that there was a ventilation duct above you due to the constant cool breeze. I must be starting to see things. No! Me! That's the second time we've seen someone in the darkness. Someone's on board. You sigh to yourself, holstering your weapon and pinching the bridge of your nose with your thumb and forefinger. After a brief moment, you look around the room one more time. Not seeing anything unusual, you shrug and step back into the engineering department. Oh shit. Well, I've taken a look at everywhere I need to. I guess it's time to report to the captain. Unless there's something that I'm forgetting to check out. There might be something I missed. It's not like I'm on a schedule or anything, so I'll check a few more things out. Cat ears, let's go! Thank you, Miss Yuri. Everything seemed okay in here. As the door slides shut, you turn away and head back towards the engineering department's main walkway. I want to move into the engines, because that's where the chief is. The doors to the engine room slide open in front of you, and you're met with the disheartening sight of the huge engine remaining totally stationary, devoid of its normal rotation. The sense of stillness that permeates the vast area you're stood in is disconcerting. The only thing breaking the all-engulfing silence is a constant grumble coming from the lone figure of the chief leaning over a control panel in the distance. Chief, everything all right? You call out as you approach her. No, damn it, Lieutenant, it's not. Oh no, she's so angry. You're a little taken aback by both the chief's curt response, but also that you didn't need to pester her in order to drag her attention away from what she was doing. Oh, no? No! If I didn't know better, I'd call it sabotage, but no one else on this ship has the know-how to do that kind of thing. So right now, I look like an idiot who can't get the NPEs back online. Whoa, Chief, hold on. Sabotage? Someone cue up the Beastie Boys? It's not sabotage, Lieutenant. Like I said, no one on this ship would know how to do this kind of thing. But I've ruled out hardware issues, and I've never seen the software do a full reset on the startup process before. So unless it's something I'm missing like an idiot, then... Chief, what's going on? I'd gone through the entire startup process and was just about to fire up the NPEs when that machine crashed into the hangar and I had to go and secure it. The status of everything should have held at that point until I got back, and it would have been straightforward to just enter a few commands and restart the engines, but... The Chief lashes out with her boots, striking the bottom of the casing of the control panel she'd been working on. The whole process has been reset and all of my calibrations and checks have been wiped. I've had to start from the very beginning. Without the NPEs online, I can't even get the ship moving, let alone get the HFDD started. And until I can get the HFDD up and running, I'm stuck here instead of being in the hangar figuring out what's going on with that machine. It's killing me. Oh, everyone's upset. And every second I waste screwing around with the engines is another second we're adrift out in the boonies with God knows what in our hangar. Ah! The Chief strikes the base of the control panel again before leaning over it and beginning to key in commands. Even the preset functions I've installed have been wiped out. It's basically at shipyard status. This is ridiculous. Whoa! Someone factory reset the ship. First I'm gonna have to... Is there anything I can do to help? No. Oh. Nothing personal, Lieutenant, but no, there's absolutely nothing you can do to help me in this case. Well. But thanks for offering. No problem, I guess. Before you're even done responding, the Chief has turned her attention back to the screen full of diagnostics and settings and has begun keying in commands, pausing to take note of some nearby readouts and then inputting more information. You make a mental note to fill the captain in on the status of the engine startup process and decide to leave the Chief to it, since there's apparently nothing else for you here. I need to talk to her about the scanners. Hey, Chief. About the machine in the hangar. What about it? What do you reckon it is? Where do you think it came from? Mars? Earth? That's a damn good question, Corum. I've got absolutely no idea. I've never seen armor, weapons, or a propulsion system like that. I've read speculative proposals about that kind of tech, but we're decades away from even the fundamentals of it. We might be in peacetime, but all the big governments are doing everything they can to develop their weapon systems, ensure they're not caught out again. But if anyone had anything like this even in the testing stages a few years ago, the war would have been over a lot quicker, one way or the other. Even if this was Martian or Terran, it doesn't make any sense to test it out in the JCF's backyard. If it's ours, then why would they send us in without letting us know? So there's nothing. No indication where it came from or what it's for? I can tell you what it is, Lieutenant, that's for sure. That machine is nothing but a weapon. Beyond that? I might be able to figure out some answers to these questions. If I wasn't stuck here restarting these engines from scratch. Which you're distracting me from, Lieutenant, so get out of here. Yes, Chief! Yeah, so... That's it. Nothing else to do in here. So we've already... Yeah, we just gotta go talk to the captain now. Up to the bridge we go. Wait a minute. That wasn't this way the last time I passed through here. Whoa! Wait! What the fuck? Stretch and hydrate. Okie dokie. And a stretch. Oh, and one free yawn, free of charge. Okay, this is not good. Someone is crawling around in the guts of our ship. Maybe Dalton didn't replace this correctly? It must have shaken loose during the battle, but it was definitely attached the last time I was here. You head over to the entrance to the maintenance crawlway and, holding onto the sides, lean into the space first, looking up and then downwards. The ladder extends into the gloom in both directions, and although you can only see up to a certain distance, you can't see anything unusual and you don't hear anything either. With a shrug, you move to pick up the panel, placing it back onto the wall. It takes a little bit of trial and error, but eventually you get the panel attached again. You give it a few good knocks for good measure. That should do for now. No! Me? What am I doing? What am I doing? What? There was clearly something going on with that. Okay, we're going up to the bridge, because I feel like something's going to be happening in the bridge. You step off the elevator and enter the bridge to the sound of a trill beeping coming from a control panel. Where's Vanessa? Oh, there she is. God damn it. Stood over the panel, typing hurriedly on the keyboard, is Vanessa. She looks over to you with a start before turning back to the keyboard and quickly entering more commands. Has the mutiny started? Is she taking over the ship? After a few seconds of typing, she aggressively hits the enter key, which silences the beeping and turns quickly to you, looking slightly flushed. And what do you want, Lieutenant Coram? At this point, you no longer have the energy to mask your exasperation and let out a sigh as you pinch the bridge of your nose between your thumb and forefinger. I'm just carrying out a standard patrol, Lieutenant Lord, making sure everything's in order following the battle. Is everything okay up here? You lean slightly to try to see what was being displayed on the screen above the panel Vanessa had just been using, but was now stood in front of. Stepping sideways to block your view, Vanessa reaches back to the keyboard without turning around and enters a quick series of button presses that shift the display to something else. Of course you're on patrol. I suspected you wouldn't be here to give your post-mission reports like you're supposed to. What? I suspected you wouldn't be here to give your post-mission report like you're supposed to. Oh, the report. It'd be too much to expect the Gundog's hero, the dashing Lieutenant Coram, to actually follow protocol for once. But then again, with how I had to remind you of procedure when the power went out, I suppose you might not be willfully ignorant of how you're supposed to act. It could be that you're just plain ignorant. Instead, I'm gonna throw this lady out the airlock. You feel a familiar rising tide of anger within you, a feeling that for most of your career had been limited to encounters with Hansen, but was now becoming much more common with every conversation you had with Vanessa. You do know you're supposed to report to the mission overseer immediately after you're dismissed from sickbay for debriefing, right? Oh. Any remaining desire you had to check in on the bridge and Lieutenant Lord was swiftly leaving you. Yes, Lieutenant, thank you. I'm aware of the procedure, but I'm under direct orders from the captain to begin a constant patrol. Besides, I would have assumed that someone as capable as yourself would have been able to get the general picture of what had happened on the O'Brien without me needing to tell you. Or was the battle outside the ship and the giant machine currently in our hangar not obvious enough? If Vanessa had picked up on the barb in your query, she wasn't acknowledging it. Captain's orders, huh? For all those are worth. Oh, this bitch. Oh, this bitch. Although you'd initially assumed Vanessa's general aggression was just a personality deficiency, her increasingly open hostility to the ship's command structure was beginning to stand out to you as something more than just unmanaged anger issues. You make a mental note to bring it up with the captain at the next opportunity. Lucky for you, Lieutenant, I'm more than capable enough to pick up your slack, and I've already gone through the communication logs, the Juno's flight data. I'm also in the process of reviewing the O'Brien's black box information. You know, I'm actually pretty impressed. I assumed you've been playing the hero because a certain someone was involved, but even I'll admit that it must have taken guts to wait for Hansen to get back to the Juno. Or was it that you knew you didn't stand a chance if you tried to pilot that Juno on your own? Fuck off. Oh, this bitch. You roll your eyes. You'd been surprised that Vanessa was giving you something that was coming close to a compliment, but of course it had to be second-guessed in the very next breath. Look, Lord. And another thing. I've got to hand it to your quick thinking skills when it came to commanding Ensign Cruis during that battle. Without your decision to get Cadet Grange involved, things might have turned out very differently for the Gundog. Still, it's a lot easier to just sit back and tell people what to do than to actually do it yourself, right? A lot less pressure on you. Hydrate? Okie dokie. That's weird. My thing didn't go off. Well, now why didn't it do that? Let's look at my cues. Action cue. It triggered correctly. And my shared chat variable is at 0, which means it should have told me to drink. Hmm. Oh, it did fire. It went off twice. Wait, what's the timing on that? Beep. Boop. 5 minutes. Okay, no, I'm just being dumb. That's okie dokie. We're okie dokie and fine. Cat ears again. I do love the cat ears. A lot less pressure on you. You're about to snap back at Vanessa, but your exhaustion wins out against your anger, and you swallow your words. Well, Lord, I'm glad that you put your talents to good use and managed to get the assessment done without me. I've got orders to carry out, so if you don't mind, I'll be leaving. Oh, not at all, Lieutenant. I wouldn't want to keep you from your important work. Keep it up. I'm sure your commitment to your duty will be rewarded very soon. Oh, I'm gonna throw her out an airlock, Chad. I'm gonna throw her out an airlock. Woohoo. Don't like her. Unwilling to put up with Vanessa's consistent contempt for much longer, you mumble a vague goodbye and turn back towards the elevator. Oh, God, I don't like her. I am not a fan. Not a fan. Vanessa was acting pretty weirdly earlier. I wonder what she was doing at that station. The blast shutters would have been down during the battle, but against that thing I don't see them being much use. Yeah, no, definitely not. Oh. Vanessa was acting pretty weirdly earlier. If she wasn't here, I'd try and check out what she was doing, but I don't think the potential argument is worth doing it with her around. Okay. Do I want to talk to her again? As much as I'd rather not have another conversation with Vanessa right now. Sight is very important. Oh yeah! Hey! I'm so used to Spooky being here, like, doing all of these things. Alright, cleaning my glasses. Yeah, that's weird, eh? I wonder where Spooky's at. She hasn't shown up. She must be busy doing other stuff. No gunshots, though. Kinda calm. Kinda calming. No gunshots. I say, right as someone uses a gunshot redeem on me. Oh no, I may have asked for it.
Good job!
Thank you. Alright, clean glasses. More or less. Lieutenant Lord. Nope, not clean glasses. I got a smudge right in the center of my vision. There we go. Ink. You haven't noticed any strange activity recently, have you? Like what, Lieutenant? Like our entire ship losing power, even the backup systems? Or how we lost contact with the ship that we were supposed to rendezvous with? Lieutenant. Or the sudden attack by a completely unknown machine? Lord, or how about, Lord, give me a chance to talk for 2 seconds. Now you listen to me, Lieutenant. Not giving Vanessa the chance to launch into another tirade, you instead just talk over her. I found the panel for the maintenance crawlway in the central hub on the floor. I'm just checking that nothing out of the ordinary has happened. Oh, is that all? You place your face in your palm, wearied by the amount of effort you have to put in just to have a simple conversation with Vanessa. I love that emote, the little sleepy blankie emote. It's so cute. No, I've not seen anything unusual going on. That idiot cadet must have put it back on incorrectly. Tell him that. Alright, thank you, Lieutenant Lord. With the answer that you'd been after obtained, you quickly shut down the conversation before your patience can run out. Fuck off, lady. I'm leaving, but I am going back down to sickbay because that thing was off the panel. And I want to make sure that it's okay. Is Cassie okay? Hang in there, Cassie. This is... looking at Cassie, you take the box of pills still in one hand and the empty glass in the other and head over to the hand washing station where you fill the glass with water. Returning to the slumbering Cassie, you pop 2 tablets out of the blister and lay them and the glass on a small bedside shelf next to her. Love the sass, yeah. Pausing for a moment, you watch her sleep in complete peace, a sharp contrast to how she'd been before. You know you've got a patrol to be getting on with, but the thought of leaving her alone like this anchors you to her bedside. You wish you could be here when she wakes up, or at least leave her something nice to wake up to. I already did the chocolate. You gently move, already did the chocolate. Okay, and we can't go... Okay, so there's no one in here. So why was the panel off? Airlock? I'm double checking stuff now. Those are fine. Okay. Sick bay. I'm gonna head back into the hangar. Machine's still fine. Right? No signs of anything. No. Dalton's still in here, but we spoke to him already. Fire control is still going. Haru's probably still eating pancakes in the mess. Can I... No one in here. I'm concerned about the figure I found in the central computer. I finished checking out everywhere the captain wanted me to. Since I'm here, should I report to the captain? I guess I'll do that. Well, I've not found anything that really needs reporting. Yeah, you have. You have. Me. I found 2 things that need reporting. The panel was off the wall, and there was movement in the central computer that I broke into by accident. Sort of by accident. On purpose, but by accident also. There's nothing else I need to do right now, so I should let the captain know I've finished my patrol. After briskly making your way to the captain's quarters, you find yourself stood outside her familiar insignia-marked door. You're about to knock to announce yourself, but before you can, you instead move your hand to cover your mouth as you let out a loud yawn. You stop midway through your exhalation, interrupted by a twinge of pain in your neck as you'd raised your arm. You roll your neck a few times, but this does nothing to shift the discomfort that you're now feeling. It seems like the painkiller the doctor had given you was beginning to wear off. You sigh, which quickly turns into the previously interrupted yawn. Been there. The tiredness, which you'd been doing your best to ignore since you'd returned to the Gundog, was now hitting you hard, and you were suddenly very aware of the physical and emotional toll the past few hours had taken on you. As you feel exhaustion spread through your body, you hope that after you make your report, the captain would command Haru to take over the security detail whilst you got some rest. Being mindful not to aggravate the pain in your neck further, you slowly raise your hand and tentatively knock on the captain's door. Enter. You hear the captain announce from the other side. Oh. Ah, Lieutenant Coram. Have you finished your patrol? Have you bit? You shut your eyes briefly and draw in a deep breath, mustering the energy to engage with the captain. Yes, ma'am. And? You release the breath slowly. Conversations with the captain could be exhausting due to how little effort she seemed to put into them, and right now you felt the very real need to conserve your energy. Having visited fire control, the bridge, and the engine room, aside from the existing issues with the long-range communication systems, sensors, and NPEs, there's nothing new to report. Yes, there is! With the exception of a few minor technical issues that appear to be the result of our battle with that craft, I can't find anything untoward or immediately suspicious. Yes, there is! Oh, I'm a bad security officer. I'm bad at this. Report everything. You saw movement in the control room. The panel was off the wall. God damn it. There's no sign of any intruder that I've been able to observe. There is sign. Oh, this is so frustrating. Video games, you're killing me. I see. So everything's in order? You clench your jaw to stifle a yawn. As you catch a glimpse of the captain's bed in the annex that serves as her bedroom, you find yourself desperately craving your standard issue bunk. On the patrol route at least, yes. Good to hear. You do your best to stifle another yawn, willing the captain to dismiss you. In that case, Lieutenant, you relax slightly, awaiting the order to finish for the day and pass the torch to someone else. I want you to head to the sickbay and get an update on Ensign Cruis's status. You tense up again, the prospect of immediate rest now pulled out from under you. Ensign Cruis, ma'am? Yes, Lieutenant. Bye, cat ears. When I'd previously spoken to Dr. Rosarum, he'd advised that the procedure should have been finished some time ago, and Ensign Cruis should be ready to resume duties shortly after. I need to brief Ensign Cruis on his new responsibilities, but I am yet to hear anything from the doctor. So, Lieutenant, I need you to head to the sickbay to find out what the delay is. Understood? You'd allowed your weariness to creep over you, but it had been bearable because of the expectation that once you'd reported to the captain, your duties would be done. Now, though, with another task foisted upon you, it felt almost overwhelming. With a Herculean effort that you hide from the captain, you throw a swift salute to acknowledge your new task. Yes, ma'am. Understood. Very good. Dismissed, Lieutenant. You maintain your posture until you've left the captain's quarters, but as the door closes behind you, it's all you can do to not slump to the floor. Woof. This must be the last thing she has for me to do today. There's no way. You sigh deeply and pinch the bridge of your nose, taking a moment to wallow in your exhaustion until you feel ready to face this latest challenge. Alright, let's go. Wowzers. Wowzers, Bowsers. Okay. So we're gonna move to sick bay. We're gonna save real quick, and then we're gonna move to sick bay. You lean back against the rear wall of the elevator and shut your eyes. That's dangerous. Don't do that. Savoring the brief moment of relaxation that comes from resting on the cool metal of the wall and listening to the gentle hum of the elevator's movement. You stay this way, seconds away from drifting off to sleep until you feel the elevator begin to slow. You wearily open your eyes and push off the wall, standing upright. You lazily bring your hand up to your eyes to shield them from the harsh glare you know will come from the sickbay's lighting. As your eyes adapt to the light, the first thing that catches your attention is a glitter-like shimmer from the floor at the far side of the room. Oh no, it's happening again. Once your vision has adjusted completely, you realize that these sparkles are caused by the high-powered lights reflecting off fragments of broken glass that are scattered all over the floor. Dr. Rosarium! It's happening again! This is just like the O'Brien! Doctor! Slumped over his desk is Dr. Rosarium. As you approach him, the dread is replaced with nausea. You see his one organic eye remains open, staring straight downwards, but devoid of life. Doctor! Damn it! You quickly draw your electroshock weapon as you look over to the bed with Cassie on it. Cassie. Seeing her lying still, you move swiftly over to check that she's alright, and you feel a rush of relief as you see her chest rise and fall. A shiver runs up your spine as you hear the sound of someone stepping on broken glass behind you. You hold your breath, wait for a single second, and then swing around, bringing your gun to bear on where you heard the noise coming from. As you swing your arm around, it's immediately intercepted, stopping its arc before you can aim at where the noise behind you had come from. All you have time to process is a fist flying towards you, striking you square on the chin. Oh, it's happening! There's nothing you can do but stagger backwards. Within a second, you're unconscious. Oh shit. Single sucker punch took me out? Y'all? Question mark? ... Wake up, Lieutenant. I said, wake up, Lieutenant. I don't know who's saying this. Oh god. Asleep on the job? You and your girlfriend are too much alike. Vanessa? What the fuck? Lord, what's... Finally, I was beginning to think that you decided to copy our Lieutenant Commander and play Sleeping Beauty for the rest of the mission. Cassie, is she... In the same moment that you sit up quickly, a lance of pain strikes you in the base of your skull and you wince, gritting your teeth and squeezing your eyes shut. I wouldn't make any sudden movements if I were you. We found you knocked flat out on the floor of the sickbay. Flat out? Flat out on the floor? Looking at the way you fell, you must have taken a serious blow. A shame. It's not like we've got a doctor to deal with that kind of thing anymore. Are you making fun of the fact that our doctor was murdered? Vanessa! What the fuck? Moving more slowly this time, you bring yourself upright and maneuver so that you're sitting on the edge of your bunk. You keep your head bowed as you tentatively feel the back of it where you'd hit the floor. Dr. Rosarium, he's... dead. You must not have got a good look at him, but someone pulled his plug. Kind of funny when... Okay. Lieutenant Lord, that's enough. What about Commander Quinn? Is she... What, you don't want to know more about the doctor? Aren't you already planning your investigation? Shouldn't you be asking me if there's any information that might help you find the... You turn to look Vanessa straight in the eyes, your face a stern expression of disapproval. Just tell me how Commander Quinn is doing, Lord. She's unscathed, Lieutenant. As always, she's somehow managed to come out of things absolutely fine. We've moved her to her quarters for the time being, to keep her secure. Good, okay. You rest your elbows on your knees and place your head in your hands, massaging your temples in an attempt to reduce the pain that had traveled up your neck and into your forehead. What happened? I went into the sickbay and saw Dr. Rosarium at his desk, went over to Commander Quinn, and then... You remembered spinning around to aim your electroshock weapon at whoever had been behind you, but you hadn't managed to get a good look at them before they'd knocked you out. I got knocked out. What happened after that? Well, lucky for you, Ensign Cruis was in the surgery wing waking up after his procedure. He saw the silhouette of your fight through the glass and hit an emergency alarm. Although whoever it was managed to escape before Cruis could make his way out of the surgery wing or anyone else could get there. That makes it twice that he saved you this mission. Maybe we should be promoting him to head of security instead. Fuck off. You roll your eyes at the thought whilst cringing internally. Having Hansen to thank for your survival was becoming an uncomfortably common occurrence. So what's the situation then? Do we know? As you go to stand up, the same pain from earlier returns and you sit back down, wincing and rubbing your neck. Unfortunately, Lieutenant, no, we don't know anything. With our head of security taking a nap and everyone on high alert at their stations, we've not managed to have the chance to investigate. But don't worry, Lieutenant Corum, we've got Ensigns Cruis and Rumney taking care of security operations until you recover. The whole ship's on lockdown at the moment. All clearance is restricted purely to necessary duty areas for each crew member, and access can only be granted from within the room if someone else wants to enter. So the captain's happy for you to take your time to recover. If Captain Bartermuse doesn't want me back on duty immediately, why are you here? Lieutenant, we're crewmates. Can't I stop by to check in on your recovery? Fuck you. Oh my god, I can't stand this woman. You shoot Vanessa a stern expression, raising your eyebrow but staying silent. Fine, Lieutenant. I want you to understand the full stakes of what's happening right now. We're stuck out here with no communication systems, our doctor is dead, our lieutenant commander is inconveniently out of action for the foreseeable future, we've got a hostile craft sat in our hangar, and with all this going on, our captain's guidance is to just lock things down and carry on. Considering the circumstances, you think she'd go with a bit more of a proactive approach, wouldn't you say? Lord, what are you getting at? Nothing, Lieutenant. Don't worry about it. For now. I just wanted to make sure you were up to speed on current events in case you needed to make any decisions, that's all. Anyway, take these and get some sleep. You react with a start as Vanessa throws a small packet of painkillers to you. You catch it and turn it over in your hands. You notice the box is slightly crumpled, and you pull a small fragment of glass out from where it had been lodged in between the box's tabs. We'll be needing you, Lieutenant, soon. You look up from the packet just as Vanessa turns to leave the room. Without saying anything else, she exits your room and steps into the corridor beyond, with the door hissing shut behind her soon after. Once Vanessa is gone, you take the opportunity to look over the packet again before placing it down next to you on your bunk. You make another attempt to stand up, although you're more cautious about it this time. Arg. Despite how gingerly you'd risen to your feet, the pain in your neck had still reappeared before you were even upright. With a sigh of defeat, you open the box Vanessa had given you and extract 2 tablets from their packaging, quickly tossing them into your mouth and swallowing. You slowly lie back down on the bunk, resting your head on your pillow. As you lie there, you go over what Vanessa had told you. Dr. Rosarian was dead, but Cassandra was fine. Whoever had been responsible hadn't been apprehended, and the whole ship was on high alert. You begin to think over who the assailant could be. You couldn't think of motivation for a single crew member to attack the doctor. Although now that you think about it, the disarray in the sickbay was very similar to what you saw on the O'Brien. Was what happened there happening here? Plus, what was Vanessa talking about making decisions for? Your mind slows as the medication kicks in and your thoughts lazily drift from one subject to another. Although you do your best to keep thinking about the dramatic shift in circumstances, you feel yourself beginning to slip out of consciousness and back into the exhausted slumber that Vanessa had interrupted. The last thing you remember before drifting off to sleep is that as soon as you were awake, you knew the first thing you'd be doing was visiting Cassandra. Yeah, absolutely. April 24th, planetary calendar 214. After recovering from After recovering from the attack, Lieutenant Corm awakens in their quarters a full 24 hours later to find that they are yet to receive any instructions. With no pending orders, they decide to check in with Lieutenant Commander Quinn to see if they have recovered from their affliction. Jovian Space, Lieutenant Corum's quarters, the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. Okay. Okay, we're going to ads. I will see y'all soon. Oh, it didn't see me. Okay. I don't know if there's any hunters about. There's 3 of them? There's 4 of them? Ah, Jesus Christ. This is not super great. This is not. This is unideal. Ugh. Come at me, bro. You friggin'. God damn. Do I have literally any other health things? Alright. We're playing this.
Drop pods. I got it. Yep, drop pods.
Code 1.
Mission to take it out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's in it.
Never mind. Oh, Munificent. You're inbound. I'd watch your head in my land.
Charge is set. I'm gonna blow it while we're dealing with this thing.
Okie dokie.
Fire in the hole, fire in the hole, fire in the hole.
More drop pods. Do you want to just kill the drop pods, or you want me to hit them with rockets? If we don't kill the drop pods, they'll spawn more.
Keep him.
Ultra has been demoed. Spectre 4 shipping. Go for Spectre 4. What's your status? Be advised, it looked like the area around the objective just got like mortared, but myself and Mystic are currently getting the data. Alright, hold on. Do you have anybody else on contact? We're included at the moment.
This is why I'm in an indirect fire mission group.
Fox 3 effect.
Yep.
I mean, we're all like still in pretty much in the pit. I'm
Missing
still
2-2 shitting.
rocking on board.
Apologies, Revenant 2-2
Are you?
shitting.
Yeah,
Send it.
he gave me 1,000
What's your current
meters,
position?
1,000 meters back there.
We are currently positioned
Hmm.
almost on top of the downed LAAT.
Yeah, it's spooky if you're around. Remember how I mentioned yesterday I don't I don't play shooters very often? That's the reason.
Alright, cover that.
Can't shoot for spit. I'm so bad at it.
Copy. Yes.
How many arrows
Exactly,
you got?
Jillian.
Shot?
Hmm. Oh, Jesus. Contact straight ahead of me. Contact close. They're right here.
Yep, we have eyes on. Don't move. You got spotted, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
There's another one, so just be careful.
Copy.
Swinging right, gonna get wet security.
Ugh, that was a grenade.
Interesting.
They're throwing grenades. My whole body. Don't know where you are.
I don't get it.
I got one of you. Alright. Ads are done. I know I still had a timer on there, but I don't want to wait it out. I just want to get back into this because I'm enjoying this very, very much. This game is so good. People online were saying that it takes about 6 to 10 hours to beat, which I've got 13 hours of playtime in this game already, so I don't know. I got booped. I got booped. Oh, that's not how you spell your name. There we go. Hi, Dusty. Okay, so we passed out. We've woken up after an entire day of sleep. Reaching up and above you and interlacing your fingers, you lean back, stretching out your back and your neck. As you release the last remnants of tension in your body, you sigh. Thankfully, it seemed that some bed rest was all that you needed to shift the accumulated aches and pains that you'd gained over the course of the year. The year? Over the course of yesterday. Whoa. Some sleep, coupled with a shower and a change of uniform, had left you feeling like a completely new person, almost as if nothing had happened at all. Although, despite how reinvigorated you felt, there was no way you could ignore what had happened. Still, there had been no more alerts, and you'd not received any orders via your terminal. Sighing, you hoped that everything was going well. No! The terminal's out of order, remember? Now that you were fully recovered, you had resolved to start the investigation into who had murdered Dr. Rosarium and attacked you. But first, you'd be visiting Cassie. Yeah, obviously we're visiting Cassie. But like, let's see, you work your way through your terminal's menus, checking for any new orders, mail, instructions, etc. that may have come through between when you checked after you woke up and... That may have come through between when you checked after you woke up and now. Okay. Nothing. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Squish. Stepping out into the corridor beyond your quarters, you barely make it halfway to the Foreside thoroughfare before an announcement sounds out over the loudspeakers. Uh-oh. You instantly recognize it as Vanessa, despite the slight distortion caused by the speakers. Attention all hands, repeat, attention all hands. This is Lieutenant Vanessa Lord. All members of the crew are to assemble on the bridge for an emergency briefing. Attention all hands, I repeat, attention all hands. What? The announcement is made a few more times until eventually you hear the subtle pop of the speakers indicating that Vanessa has stopped broadcasting. An emergency briefing. You quickly make your way through the ship towards the bridge, only stopping once you're outside the elevator. You run your keycard through a reader and wait a little longer than usual. You can only assume that whoever's on the bridge is taking a few seconds to authenticate your ID and grant you permission to enter. What about Cassie? What about Cassie? Soon enough, the door opens and you step inside. As you stand alone in the elevator listening to the dull whir of its motors, you wonder why the captain had called this meeting. The captain hasn't. Had she come up with a plan to apprehend the attacker? Had Haru and Hansen uncovered some plot whilst you'd been resting? Or had something even worse happened that the whole crew needed to be made aware of? After a short wait, the doors slide open and you step out onto the bridge. Oh, well, everyone's here, except for the captain. Where you'd expected to see the captain, you instead see Vanessa sat in the captain's chair and flanked by Haru and Hansen. Oof. Lieutenant Corum, glad to see you're so enthusiastic. Please wait there until the rest of the crew joins us. What's this about, Vanessa? Where's the captain? I'll address that once everyone else is here, Lieutenant. Vanessa, this is no time for screwing around. What's going... Take it easy, Lieutenant. Ensign Rumney swaggers up to you, placing their hand on your shoulder before moving around behind you. My gun. Lieutenant Lord just needs you to be patient and wait for a few minutes until the big announcement. Haru, I liked you, though. Don't tell me you're going along with this mutiny. Oh my god. Your posture stiffens as you feel something blunt thrust into the small of your back. You're confident enough that, unlike Cassandra's prank when you first came on board, this isn't a pen. You'd better listen to... hold on. You'd better listen to what Ensign Rumney tells you, Lieutenant. They like to be in charge and don't take kindly to people who try to get on top of them. You feel the blunt object slide around your back to your side as Haru steps around you, keeping their arm draped over your shoulders. Crewis should know, he's speaking from experience. Haru, we know you like to fuck. You glance down and see that, protruding out from underneath the jacket that they're always carrying around, is the muzzle of a large handgun. Okay, Yuri. Yeah. Ruffles? What flavor Ruffles? I gotta know. I'm not super into chips, but I will chow down on some chips to an unhealthy amount if left alone. It's the salt. Saltiness is just like, you gotta eat it. You gotta keep eating it. Original? Cool. Nothing wrong with that. Not an electroshock gun like yours, but a lethal weapon. How the fuck? Y'all get into the armory? Vanessa, what the hell are you? She told you to wait, Lieutenant. You'd gone to step forward towards Vanessa, but Haru emphasizes their point by thrusting the gun deeper into your side. You quickly stop, letting them draw you back to where you'd stood. There we go. Good choice, Lieutenant. Just let me look after you and we'll both have a good time. Uh-huh. Before you can respond, there's a small electronic chirp that sounds from the captain's chair. Vanessa looks down to the control panel and enters a quick series of commands. You hear the whir of the elevator, and after a few seconds, the doors open, revealing Dalton, who nervously steps onto the bridge. I heard the announcement, and that's good, Cadet. Thank you for being so prompt. Do me a favor and stand over there by the lieutenant, would you? Oh, yes, ma'am, will do. As the cadet makes his way over to your side, you look at Lieutenant Lord, staring at her with a silent fury. I should have tossed her out an airlock. I should have oh, you hit me with that fucking grin. I should have tossed her out an airlock. All you get as a response is a sly grin. Ugh. As much as you'd love to wipe that look from her face, you know that Hansen would be on top of you the moment you tried to disarm Haru. You couldn't rely on Dalton to remain calm in that kind of situation either. There was a good chance that he would get caught in any crossfire. Instead, you remain silent. It's good you're feeling better, Lieutenant. I was really worried when I heard about what happened to you in the sickbay. Thanks, Dalton. With her smirk looking increasingly sinister, Vanessa shakes her head at you, causing you to stop your response midway through. Lieutenant? Oh, Dalton. You're such a baby. You haven't had much time to resent Vanessa's subtle malice when you hear the same electronic chirp as earlier. Yeah, me too! Vanessa's the worst! After Vanessa repeats the previous process, Dylan soon appears. Wow, great atmosphere in here, huh? Dylan looks to all of you, but after receiving no response, he brings his headphones up over his ears and reaches into his jacket pocket. You hear the click of his cassette player and watch enviously as he drifts off into his music. Dude. Ah. It doesn't take long after that for the chief to arrive. The chief! Oh, the chief! The chief can bring some violence. I need the chief to bring some violence. Much like Dylan, she takes stock of the silence and doesn't interrupt it, instead standing silently by one of the control panels. You all stand in this awkward silence with no one either daring or willing to break the quiet that fills the bridge. Let me check something real quick on my routines. Thank you very much. Okie dokie. There we go. Although you notice a few furtive glances from the chief as she surveys the room, and some looks shared between Haru and Hansen as they keep the rest of the crew under close surveillance, everyone remains relatively still. Leaning back into the chair and crossing her legs, Vanessa positions her elbow on one of the armrests and rests her head on her hand. What a bitch! Don't worry, everyone. We're just waiting for the captain to arrive, and then things can begin. There's a round of uncomfortable looks that pass between Dylan, the chief, and Dalton. After a moment, the chief steps forward to say something. Lieutenant Lord, what are you... Wait for the captain to get here, chief. It'll all make sense then. You can see the chief mull over this response, and although it takes a few seconds, she steps back, taking her previous position by the control panels. The silence on the bridge, which had clearly never been designed to hold this many people at once, continues to drag on until it's eventually broken by the now familiar chirrup of an access request. And here she is now. Lieutenant Lord, what are you doing calling an unauthorized all hands? And what are you doing in the captain's seat? The level of tension that was already present suddenly explodes, suspense saturating the air. You feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up as the realization of what Vanessa is planning hits you. It only just hit me now? Chat. My character's kind of dumb, right? Oh my god. do you mean it's only just hitting you now? Yeah, main character's kind of dumb. Jesus. Just like the chief, Dalton and Dylan, your eyes flick from the captain to Vanessa. Well, it is my seat after all. Fuck you. What did you just say? Oh, she is angry. Whoa. Hold on. I want to see what this looks like in Dojin mode. With the hair. Oh, that's very good. Okay. Striding forward with intensity and purpose, the captain raises her right hand across her body and swings to strike Vanessa. Careful, Bartomuse. You don't want to get written up for striking a superior officer, do you? Fucker. Hansen, I gave you the benefit of the doubt, my guy. I was ready to forgive you. At the last moment, Hansen's arm had reached out, viper quick, and he'd grabbed the captain by the wrist before she could bring the back of her hand down on Vanessa. Cruis, you release me immediately. Cruis, you idiot, you... Hey, how about everyone remains calm for a sec, or how about everyone calms down for a moment, huh? Holy shit. Stepping away from you, Haru reveals the handgun they'd been hiding under their jacket and waves it around lazily before walking over to stand on the opposite side of Vanessa from Hansen. Now that we all understand who's in charge here, they aren't dumb, just a little slow, I guess. This is mutiny. Yanking her arm back from Hansen, the captain turns to face you whilst pointing at Vanessa. Lieutenant Coram, detain these three immediately. I would like to. You move your hand towards your holstered electroshock weapon, but find yourself hesitating for a brief instant. Why? No, follow the captain's orders. Fuck, get fucked. You grab your weapon, but before you've drawn it halfway out of the holster, both Haru and Hansen are pointing their guns right at you. Oh. Admirable, Lieutenant, but you're not that stupid, are you? Ugh, try me. I will outdumb all of you. Don't worry, I know you're just following orders like any good member of the JCF would, so I won't hold it against you. If you holster that weapon right now. Oh, this needs a save. This needs a save. Oop. You glance from Vanessa to Hansen and Haru, whose weapons are both trained on you. Although Haru's expression is hard to read due to their shades, you can see a steely coolness in Hansen's eyes, telling you that he'd have no hesitation to pull the trigger at Vanessa's orders. Knowing that you wouldn't be able to draw your weapon before you'd be gunned down, and that the two pilots are clearly willing to do so, you release your grip on the weapon and slowly raise your hands. Ugh. Good choice. I won't stand for this. All of you are. Cruis? Yes, ma'am. Within the blink of an eye, Hansen steps up to the captain, balls his hand into a fist, and swiftly strikes her in the stomach, causing her to double over. These motherfuckers gotta die. I will not rest until these three are spaced. I will personally space them. Oh, this ain't on. I'm not having this. Cruis! Slow down, Lieutenant. The captain staggers backwards, clutching at her stomach before falling to her knees, retching in pain. Stepping towards the captain, Hansen cracks his knuckles. Cruis, that's enough! Damn it, Cruis, stop! Chief! You're a big lady! That'll be enough, Ensign Cruis. I'm sure she's willing to listen now. Unless anyone else has any other objections. We just need a distraction. That's what I thought. Uncrossing her legs and rising from the captain's chair, Vanessa takes on a formal posture and walks into the middle of the bridge. I, Lieutenant Vanessa Lord, as of 1700 Jovian Standard Time, April 24th, Planetary Calendar 214, in accordance with the Jovian Colony Fleet Convention Section 17, Article 7, announce myself the new captain of the JFS Gundog. I justify my announcement through Section 16, Article 9 on the grounds that neither the captain nor her second-in-command are fit for duty based on medical circumstances. As we don't currently have a doctor on board, I am forced to make this assessment based on my own discretion. In addition to this, under Jovian Colony Fleet Convention Section 16, Article 12, I am limiting both the previous captain and the lieutenant commander to their quarters on the suspicion of treason. I hate this woman. Lord, what the hell are you? You spring forward to grab Vanessa, your hand already on your electroshock weapon. But before you can get to her, you're immediately stopped by Haru, whose pistol is crammed deep into your stomach. There's only so many times I'm going to tell you to stay cool, Lieutenant. Looking past Haru and a smug Vanessa, you can see that Hansen has similarly leveled his gun at the Chief and Dylan, both of whom step backwards. If you'd care to let me explain, we are currently in the middle of a situation that goes beyond negligence and incapability. She does suck so much, seriously. Lieutenant Lord? The captain hisses, staggering to her feet with one arm over her stomach. You stop this now, or... Ugh. A slap. With a slap that echoes around the bridge, Vanessa sends the captain, who was still unsteady on her feet, reeling. As she falls back to the floor, Dalton moves to help her, but is quickly blocked by Haru. As I was saying, it's clear that both Maris Bartermuse and Cassandra Quinn are traitors. You reckon? You expect me to believe that the captain and her second-in-command are both incapacitated exactly when their clearance is needed to maintain ship operations? And that somehow an unknown craft, clearly made by our enemies, manages to make its way into our hangar, having already destroyed the O'Brien from within and killing its crew. Don't tell me this is a coincidence. It's clearly treachery. I hate her so much. The Gundog and the O'Brien are obviously both being offered up as test data for a new enemy weapon, and Bartermuse and Quinn are the traitors who sold us out. Why else would they keep us from reactivating the Gundog? How else could that craft have gotten on board without help? Why would Quinn be mysteriously out of sight when that happened? And then Dr. Rosarium ends up dead when she's in his care? What did he find out? Did she notice he knew too much? Not only is Quinn a traitor, she's a murderer too. Oh. Yes, I fully agree. I want to throw out an airlock. Lord, that's insane. How the hell could... You want to be careful, Lieutenant. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, since you were the one that brought the Gundog back online and were with Ensign Cruis during that attack. But your close association with Lieutenant Commander Quinn means that I've had my eyes on you for a while, and I'm by no means confident that you're nothing, I think that meant you've nothing to do with this. Hi, Azza. Hi, Azza. Come join the hate pile. We are currently absolutely despising this woman right here. She's a bitch, and we desperately want her to die. This is something all of chat agrees on. She sucks. After all, Ensign Cruis didn't see anyone else in the sickbay after the doctor's murder except for you and Quinn. Okay, what did she do? She slapped the captain. She's perpetrated a mutiny. She's accusing my girlfriend of murder and also being a traitor, as well as the captain. And she's got her two goons pointing guns at me. She's a bitch, and I hate her. And she's super full of herself. She's just a smarmy bitch. I don't like her at all. Angry head pats. Grrr. Here, I'll put on this face. Angry head pats. Grrr. We're angry about this woman. Rah. Ugh. Yeah, no, we don't like her. After all, Ensign Cruis didn't see anyone else in the sickbay after the doctor's murder except for you and Quinn. See, the problem is, clearly, the perpetrator has some sort of invisibility cloak or something, because they have disappeared right in front of my eyes twice. And there was no one else in the sickbay with me when I got attacked. So they can go invisible somehow. Kick her in the knees! Yeah. How could I have... Ugh. Very suspicious. Still, for now it seems like I can trust you, you think? So, as per Section 16, Article 12, I am announcing that all crew present, with the exception of Maris Bartermuse, have the choice as to whether they wish to continue to serve under my rightfully mandated authority, or if they'd like to maintain their allegiance to a traitor and be treated as co-conspirators when we get back to Europa Colony. An agonizing silence fills the room as Vanessa stands proudly amongst the crew who shift nervously. Wow. Both Hansen and Haru keep their guns trained on the crew on each side of the room, compounding the uneasy quiet. These two assholes. Don't worry, I'll be happy to take any lack of response as an affirmative. Ugh. As the silence drags on, it's clear that none of the crew are on board with the idea, but at the same time it's obvious that none of them have enough loyalty to the captain to justify the risk of being charged with treachery. For you, though, this isn't about the captain, it's about Cassie. Lord, would you think about what you're doing? Taking medical command is one thing, but accusing the captain and Cassie of treason is... This sounds an awful lot like a no, Lieutenant. You grit your teeth and breathe in. This save right here. This is the one I'm gonna hang on to. It is a no. Fuck you, Vanessa. There's no way I'd join in with your scheme. This is nothing but your personal grudge. You saw a chance and you took it. There's no way the JCF will take your side on this. That's a shame, Lieutenant. I really thought you had more sense than that. Can you post clip links in here? Maybe? Try it. I don't have a bot that'll ban you or anything. It'll just block it, I think, on your end. Or you can send it to me and I can post it. Yeah, do it. I believe in you. I mean, I can see it. Can everyone else see that? What does that look like to everyone? Oh, did it work? Cool. It worked because you're a VIP. You're a VIP and an artist. And a founder. Aza, you're collecting all the badges. You're gonna have enough badges to train me. Many qualifications, yes. That's a shame, Lieutenant. I really thought you had more sense than that, but I suppose this is no surprise. At least it resolves matters. Cruis. Nothing personal, Corum. Nothing personal, Corum. Orders are orders. Fuck off. Shifting his weapon's focus from the Chief and Dalton to you, Hansen walks across the room, stopping only to sweep an arm out from underneath the slowly recovering captain, who was again attempting to return to her feet, sending her back to the floor. Whoa! Oh, this motherfucker right here. I am so angry now. Like, okay, it's one thing to throw in with the mutineer. It's one thing to be shitty literally all the time, this guy. It's another thing to literally kick out the arm of the captain who's just trying to stand up. What the fuck, Hansen? Oh. Oh, I'm so angry. Make life easy for the both of us, huh, Lieutenant? Turning on her heels, Vanessa returns to the captain's chair, sitting down with a smug expression on her face. I fuck up. If she doesn't stop smirking at me, I swear to God. Chief Engineer Cathy's, Cadet Grange, I want those engines online now. As soon as they're operational, we'll be heading back to Europa Colony. What? Oh no, Desty, but you are an artist though. No, Desty. Oh. Fine. It's still there. If I click on your name, it's still there. I know. And I know that you know. And I know that you know that I know. So, it's okay. You're not getting away from this. Nah. Back to Europa Colony. Okay, I don't know if y'all saw it, but this is what Desty made for me. Oh no! I'm also a droid. Have you noticed?
Dune, give me your toes.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa.
Holy.
Watch out, I'm the one. I'm back up. I'm the one
you
who stuck
just-
toes around you.
Dave's super close. Hi, Dave. Hey chat, look at Dave. Have extremely aerodynamic bodies, aiding a fighting style that is focused around using their pointed legs to strike opponents and channels powerful currents in the air. Pointed legs? You mean the best kind of legs? You get them stompers going. We're just gonna watch the whole thing, by the way. It's only 3 minutes long. Only, I say. But we're watching the whole thing. No, what the fuck? Who did this, June? June.
I didn't. I'm still compiling my shaders.
It was. Subtitles are so good. Who did this? Someone bought me the whole
Compiling.
fucking bundle. Ghostly!
It was not me.
It was Ghostly. How
Damn.
dare you?
Damn.
How dare you? They don't seem to have much awareness as to whether or not their singing is too loud for those around them. Me when I'm drunk, am I right? Oh. Well, hopefully you took it out on all the children around you. Alright, everyone. Cat's talking about Peebits. Everyone panic. We can't have this. Oh, it's so cute! Oh, it's so cute! Look at this Sonic the Hedgehog looking son of a bitch. Hot milk? A big tankard of warm milk before you sleep. If you show up, if you talk in chat, that's all I want. I'm happy with that. This is so fucking weird. You're all so fucking weird. Why am I friends with all of you?
We love you too, Len.
Let's do it.
The ball's hardened.
Oh god. Oh no. Look at this fusion. Consume the butthole. Consume the butthole. Ah, it's so good. Desti, you can't say you're not an artist. It's so good. It's just so good. Oh, hey, Nick. Welcome, Nick. Yeah, no, it's like doing the subtitles, choosing which clips to use, chopping up the clips a little bit. You know, using your editor's eye to make everything flow nicely. That's art. That's art, baby. And I refuse to say otherwise. It is. It's definitely art. And that's just how it is. Fell asleep as soon as you got home. Oh, breakfast for dinner. That's awesome. I'd love breakfast for dinner. Actually, I might make omelets for dinner. That might be fun. That might be fun. Okay, back to this. But Desti is definitely an artist, and I will not hear anything otherwise in this chat or any other chat. Okay, back to this. All right, Warrant Officer Dees, I want you back in fire control and to remain on high alert. We're going to assume that we're in enemy territory, and I want you on the lookout for any hostile activity. Understood. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. What's that, Chief Engineer Cathy's? Yes, Captain. Fuck. You're all dismissed. With that, the 3 crew members quickly depart from the bridge in a single elevator, leaving you with Vanessa, the 2 pilots, and the captain. Ensign Rumney, you take care of Miss Bartermuse. Oh. Sure thing, Captain. Shoving their gun in the back of their waistband, Haru walks over to the captain and lackadaisically delivers a kick into the captain's stomach, causing her to heave and curl into a fetal position. Come on, Bartermuse, let's get going. Dragging the captain upright, Haru holds on to her until she's able to stand, shoving her towards the elevator as soon as she can stagger forwards. Once they're both on the elevator, the pilot turns to you, looking over the top of their shades as the doors slide closed. You made a bad choice, Karm. As soon as the doors of the elevator containing Haru and the captain are closed, the doors on the other open, and you feel the muzzle of Hansen's gun as it's thrust into your back. One more thing. Keeping his gun firmly pressed into the small of your back, Hansen leans around to your side and draws your electroshock weapon from its holster. Stepping back, he slides your weapon into a pocket within his jacket before gripping his gun with both hands and returning its muzzle to the small of your back. Don't want you getting any ideas. Take them away, Ensign. Yes, ma'am. Fuck off. Oh. Hansen shoves his gun harder into your back, and you reluctantly comply, walking across the bridge and into the waiting elevator. There is a part of me that's hoping that this is a put on by Hansen. That this is a bit of a play. Because Hansen was also pissed off at Vanessa, remember earlier? Like, when we were in the Juno, Hansen was also pissed off at her. So I'm hoping that this is a play just to stay on her good side for now, until we can, like, detain her or something. I don't know. That, or he's in deep with Haru. Because as we all know, as Haru is very quick to remind us, Haru fucks. Haru is willing to go to town on anyone who has a pulse, it seems. Which, you know, more power to them, but... yeah. Oh, I am super ready to throw Vanessa out an airlock. Once in, you turn around. Hansen keeps his gun trained on you, and behind him, you can see Vanessa sneering at you from the captain's chair. It's really a shame, Lieutenant. I'd had such high hopes for you. Before you're able to tell Vanessa what you'd hoped for her, the doors slide closed and you're left in silence with Hansen. Fucking hell. Once you arrive in the central hub, you're unceremoniously shunted at gunpoint through the ship towards your quarters. Whoop, whoop. Once outside, Hansen gestures towards the terminal at the side of the door. Understanding his instruction, you take out your keycard, run it through the reader, and enter your security code. As soon as the door opens, Hansen snatches the card out of your hand and shoves you into the room, causing you to stagger your way inside. Leaning nonchalantly against the doorframe, his boot positioned to stop the door from closing automatically, Hansen looks at you wordlessly. He remains silent for a few short seconds with a ruminative... Wow, I didn't think I'd stumble on that one. Ruminative expression on his face until you manage to stand back up and turn to face him. Hack, hack, hack. Once you've regained your composure, he straightens up and angles the gun towards you. You know, Corum, I was beginning to come around on you. What's that supposed to mean? Hansen smirks. The stuff you've done, you're actually kind of alright. You might not be the coward you were back on the Khalik anymore. Thanks. Good to know I've changed your mind. Hey, don't get too ahead of yourself, Corum. You might not be a coward, but you're still an idiot. You should have gone with the rest of the crew and sided with Lord. Now you, Bartermuse, and your girlfriend are gonna get pulled up on treason. There's no way the JCF's, that was me. There's no way the JCF's going to believe her. You, Lord Rumney, you're all going to get court-martialed for mutiny. I don't know about that, Corum. Lord's got some pretty serious evidence. She's got it all figured out. This is how it ends, Lieutenant. You're going down for some third-rate captain and your airhead girlfriend. Hope it's worth it. It's worth it. Chat? For Cassie? Everything's worth it. I love Cassie. I would die for Cassie. I would kill for Cassie. And in fact, I promise you, I'm going to kill for Cassie. That's my promise to you. Oh, wait. I was kind of looking forward to grabbing a drink with you and Romney back on Europa, whatever. Eat my ass. We'll pour one out for you. Oh, thanks. Hey, don't worry about it. Now get comfy, Lieutenant. You're gonna have a dull trip back to Europa. As Hansen turns to walk away, you leap towards him, aiming to get your hand in the way of the door to prevent it closing. Before you can make it to the door, Hansen pivots and once again levels the gun at you. You stop inches away from the door. Fucker. Damn it, so I guess there isn't any play. I guess he is just mutinying. Hansen, you prick. You yell, banging your fist on the door. You can't do this! Oh, get out of here with the cliches. Ugh. With your head in your hands, you turn back away from the door and sit down on your bunk. Your mind racing as you think about Vanessa's mutiny, the prospect of getting court-martialed, and what might happen to Cassie. You're so angry that you can barely think straight. Different thoughts rush through your mind, but you can't focus on one for long until it's replaced by another, and your mind becomes a roiling storm of emotions. Blah, blah, blah. Eventually, after much pacing, swearing, and the occasional kick delivered to the now stubbornly shut door, you manage to calm down enough to begin formulating a plan. She's not going to get away with this. Absolutely not. April 24th, Planetary Calendar 214. One day later. Following the murder of Dr. Rosarium, Lieutenant Lord takes command of the JFS Gundog on the grounds that both the captain and her second-in-command are unfit for duty. As her first act, Captain Lord has Maris Bartermuse and Lieutenant Commander Quinn confined to their quarters on suspicion of treason. Bitch. The ship's security officer, Lieutenant Coram, is also confined to their quarters after refusing to follow the new chain of command. Oh no, I hope you don't, Nick. Power outages suck. Jovian Space, Lieutenant Coram's quarters, the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. Alright. You wince and draw your hand back from the wall panel next to your bunk. Bunk. My voice is starting to go. After spending half an hour unsuccessfully trying to find the catch to remove the panel, all you'd managed to do was snag your nail on an edge and tear it. With a loud exhalation, you move from your bed to the computer terminal on the other side of the room. You idly hit a few keys, but the only response you get is the screen displaying the same familiar text as the last few times you'd tried it. Access denied, insufficient authority. As easy as it was to hate her, you had to give Vanessa credit. Her machinations had clearly been well thought through. Nothing had been missed when it came to making sure you would remain imprisoned. You hadn't noticed it when you'd awoken earlier, but someone must have gone through your quarters whilst you were unconscious. Small items like your nail scissors and metal bookmark had been taken, leaving you with nothing to pry open the access panels. Sitting down on the chair in front of the terminal, you'd wondered how long she'd been planning this and how much she'd accounted for. Placing your elbows on the keyboard and your head in your hands, you sigh again. You'd gone through every trick you learned in your time as a security officer, and none of them were helping you get out of here. Wind so strong your power lines might snap. Damn. That sucks. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully the storm passes. Leaning back and looking at your watch, you see it's been nearly 6 hours since you'd been imprisoned. You'd felt the rumble of the Gundog's engines coming back to life about 3 hours ago. Oh cool, the engines are on. It would only be a matter of days now until you arrived back at Europa Colony. Waiting for you there, if Vanessa was successful, was a trial for treachery. You put your head in your hands again at the thought. There was only one outcome for a guilty verdict on that charge. Execution, Jesus Christ. Alright. Ugh. Leaning back in the chair, you stare listlessly at the ceiling. There had to be something you could do. What the fuck? Okay, this is our save where we said no to Vanessa. So we're gonna start saving in these ones instead. Please pass a different way. The storm's heading right towards you. Oh no! Everyone's got storms coming. Jeez. Hopefully it's okay. Okay. Could have had a few moments longer in bed each morning. I guess that wish has come true. Enough clean uniforms to last me to Europa. Gotta look good for my trial. Locked the last 10 times I've checked it and don't see that changing anytime soon. Haven't got access to anything, not even my mail or calendars. It's not like it makes a difference. I've never been much good with computers anyway. Okay. And I believe... Oh, books. I suppose I've got the time I need to catch up on my reading now. I wonder if I can make it through the last 6 books before we get back to Europa Colony. You've only got a few days there, my dude. Like, I'm a fast reader, but I'm not that fast. My Tales of the Cosmic Champions book. I'm not going anywhere, so I could always take a break. Let's see, where was I? Yes, Fleet Commander Wang has been imprisoned by his own side because... You know what? I don't feel much like reading, actually. You kneel down by the storage drawer set in the frame underneath your bunk and push on one, causing the drawer to spring open and slide towards you. Pulling it out as far as it will go, you shove your possessions to either side and lean in to get a view of the inside. Rats. As you'd suspected, the underside of your bed is sealed off with more metal paneling, and the drawer is designed to catch on the inner framework before it slides all the way out. With the main material and its construction being steel and everything being welded together, you know you've got no chance of pulling the drawer out and crawling through. Scratch that idea. You spend a few moments examining the control pad next to the door, tapping on the casing, pressing buttons, and investigating the wiring that runs out from underneath it before settling on your course of action. Hey! Hey, Rumney, are you gonna let me out or what? Hey, Rumney, can you hear me? Let me out! Shut up, Coram. Yep, that went as well as expected. Sighing, you run your hands through your hair, wondering if there's anything left for you to try. You're just about to make another attempt at levering the panel next to your bunk off the wall when someone knocks loudly on the door. Oh. Step back from the door, Coram. What do you want, Rumney? Just shut up and do it. With a sigh, you move back to the far side of your quarters. You moved? Yeah. Alright, here's Haru. Now you just stay there, Korum. You roll your eyes. What did they think you were going to do? You're lucky the captain's so generous. You get room service. As Haru steps back, Dylan comes around the corner carrying a tray of food from the vendor in the mess hall. Hey, Lieutenant, how's it? Whoa, let's chat there, D's. Nuts. Tray on the ground and walk away. I don't know that it's a breakout. I think we'll see. Yeah, chill out, Rumney, whatever. Muttering under his breath, Dylan lays the tray on the ground halfway between you and the door and walks out of the room with Haru keeping their gun trained on you the entire time. Looking down at the tray, you see it's a fairly standard meal. Burger, fries, and a soda from one of the vending machines. You had to assume that Dylan had chosen this for you, as you couldn't imagine either of the pilots being so generous. Now stay where you are. With their free hand, Haru reaches for the control panel on the opposite side of the door. Within a second, the door slides shut and you hear the click of its lock. They left me a tray, though. That might be handy. You sigh to yourself. You weren't happy about the situation you were in, but at least they were feeding you. I suppose. Okay, let's see. You type in a few commands and attempt to navigate further into the terminal's interface, but every action you carry out is met with the same response. Access denied, insufficient authority. Yeah, I thought so. What have I got? I still have Cassie's keycard on me. Y'all. Okay, hold on. Climb onto your bed and once again run your fingertips around the edge of the panel, trying to find any give or sign of a catch that you can use to remove the panel. Unlike the cover for the emergency mechanism in the airlock, this panel is clearly designed not to be removed using bare hands. Without a tool, there's no way I'm getting this panel off. Great. Yeah, it won't let me use the card anywhere. And I can't, like, click the card and then click elsewhere, you know? I'll eat this burger. You take the meal tray over to the terminal and sit down on the chair, balancing your food on the keyboard in order to use it as a makeshift table. At least Vanessa was feeding you. You'd been starting to worry that you'd be left locked in your quarters the entire journey back to Europa Colony with no one bothering to check on you. That there's something hidden in the food? Oh, maybe. That'd be cool. After picking at a few fries, you raise the burger to your mouth and bite down. Yeah, Orpheus, you called it. Ah, what the hell? You place the burger back on the tray and run your tongue over your teeth. You'd bitten down on something hard. Pulling back the top of the bun to investigate, you find an entirely unexpected ingredient. Dylan, yes! Resting between the imitation lettuce and beef is a small pocket screwdriver, just short enough to be hidden within the burger. Hydrate, I'm on it. Oh, I'm actually running low on water. We're coming up on the end of the stream, though. Oh, so sad. Grabbing it with a napkin, you inspect it. Not only is it small enough to wedge between the gaps in the panels that make up the ship's ceilings, walls, and floors, but it's also got the right size head to unscrew any fixtures you may come across. Did I shout people out who showed up recently? I didn't, eh? I know Ozza showed up. And we got... No, I didn't. Yeah. Well, I know Oz is here. Stretch, I'm on it. Here, everyone, go watch Ozza. Ozza's very cool. Oh, Stretch. Oh, that's an old model.
Oh no,
Ah.
throw it. Oh no.
Ah.
Threw my weapon. Oh no. Please!
Oh, Ozza.
Okay, I found the attack button.
Everyone go follow Ozza.
You drop stuff when you get left.
1001 dad jokes guaranteed to make you groan. Nice. Nice. Nick is also here. There we go. Alright. Congrats on the hashes. Okay. This is perfect, you whisper to yourself. Nice. Yeah, Nick just finished making a new model for VTubing, so go check him out. You got a screwdriver. You stand up to put it to use, but your stomach immediately roars in protest. Okay, first things first, I guess. You place the screwdriver in your pocket and pick the burger back up, quickly devouring both it and the fries. Alright, now it's time. Cool beans, let's go! Screwdriver and Cassie's keycard. Okay. All right, let's see. You clamber onto the bed and run your fingers over the seam between the panel and the rest of the wall. Use... Not that one. Use that one. Taking the screwdriver out of your pocket, you work it into the small gap between the panel and the surrounding wall. Bit of jank? Hey, I mean, that's streaming, right? You gotta take the jank with the good. You slowly run it along this parting for a few inches until you feel it catch on something. Following some careful movements, you hear the sound of a latch undoing. That's one. You repeat this action a few more times along different parts of the panel. Eventually, the final latch is undone and the whole thing falls towards you. Nice. Nice, let's go. You carefully lower the panel off your bed and place it on the floor so as to not to alert Haru before returning to investigate what you'd revealed. Damn it. You cuss under your breath. Where you'd hoped to see a large space that you could crawl into, you were instead met with a solid steel structural wall, with only a few inches of space between it and where the panel had been affixed. You grip the screwdriver tighter and suppress the urge to pound your fist against the wall in frustration. You'd been so close. Despite a follow-up examination, there was no way you could get into the newly revealed space. Not that it looked like it led anywhere anyway. With a deep sigh, you step off the bed. It looked like you'd have to find another way out of here. Okay. Well, here. Kneeling down by a drawer, you open it, shove your belongings to one side, and peer inside. You can't see beyond the rearmost panel, and your attempt to remove it ends in failure as the drawer catches on something before you can slide it all the way out. Taking out the screwdriver, you trace it along every seam and edge within the drawer and what little of the underside of your bunk you can access. Unfortunately, you realize everything's welded together, leaving you nothing that you could disassemble. There was no way you were taking this apart with just a screwdriver. They use the door, I guess? Even if I could get the door open, Haru's on the other side. Oh, the bookshelf. There's no oh, there is a panel. Hey, that wasn't there before. What? You pace around your quarters, stopping every now and again to run your fingers over anything that looked like it might be a seam that could grant you access to the ship's internal structure. Unlike the panels you'd used elsewhere on the ship, every part of your quarters seemed to be perfectly sealed. The panel by your bunk had been your best bet, and that had led you nowhere. You continue to pace around the room, following the same path again and again, trying everything multiple times in the hope that you'd missed something. Eventually, you're left stood in the middle of the room, almost vibrating with irritation. Come on, there's gotta be something. Your leg twitches with nervous energy, continuously bringing the metal heel of your boot down on the floor. Yes, hang on. You bring your foot down on the floor a few more times, noting the hollow-sounding ring each time the metal heel of your footwear meets the floor. This sounds like something worth investigating. You inspect the floor panel below you, finding where it meets another panel and kneeling down to run your hands over where there's a visible gap between the two. Let's go. You take the screwdriver from your pocket and slide it into the gap in the seams between floor panels. You slowly begin to slide it along the seam, and it's only a few seconds before you feel it catch on something. Using your knowledge of how the catches worked from the wall panel you'd removed, you're easily able to undo each one you run into, the panel noticeably lifting away from the floor with each catch that's released. After a few minutes of work, you undo the last catch. It's working! Oh, hey, June! June Incident is here, everyone. Y'all need to go follow the June. Nope. June has an emote. June Incident. Hi. Shoutouts for June. Go follow June. Go watch June.
No, I did lose the wager, so I do have to admit it. Twitch.tv.
I love that it's always this clip.
Twitch.tv. Hi. June Incident. I'm a bottle.
It's this one every time. This is the third time in a row it's been this clip. That's very funny. Hi June, how you doing? Let's see. Despite its unwieldy size, you're able to shift the panel out of its original position without creating much noise, revealing a 3-foot drop down into a small tunnel that disappears into darkness in both directions. I'm okay. My mouth hurts. My tongue hurts. I mentioned it when I started streaming, but... Whoa! Ninja! Ba-na-na. Thank you so much for the sub, Ninja. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Super appreciated. Always nice. And now you get access to my cute emotes. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. I'm okay, June. It's just my tongue feels too big. Like it's inflamed, or like I was chewing the inside of my mouth and that includes my tongue, so it hurts to talk a little bit. But I mean, it hurts to talk sort of in general right now. I've been talking for 3 hours, so we're gonna be ending soonish, but I want to see where this goes. Disappears into darkness in both directions. Okay. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Ninja. It's super appreciated. Wiping the sweat from your brow, you dust off your hands as you look over the passageway you revealed. Okay, we're gonna save. Boop. Boop. Recorders. Well, no, I want to use this hole I just found. As you stand above the entrance that you just revealed, you look around your quarters one more time. Let's see, is there anything else I need to do in here, or should I get going? Once I go, there's no coming back. Oh. Hold on. Eventually you decide to stay in your quarters for just a little longer. You don't know why, but something about committing to the decision makes you hesitate. Not yet. Thankfully, I didn't waste any time destroying the terminal. I can't afford to waste any time though, so I should really get moving. Yeah, alright, let's just get out of here. There's no coming back. Let's go! You mull over your decision for a while, spending some time peering into the darkness of the crawlway. Eventually, you decide to stay in your quarters for just a little longer. I'll be back tomorrow, Yuri. Same bat time, same bat channel. With the same bat game, actually. We're gonna keep playing this, unless I finish this. I guess if I finish this tomorrow, like mid-stream, I'll have to do something else. That'd be fun. We'll see. Something about committing to the decision makes you hesitate. Not yet. Wait, no, I said go. Leave. After a few moments of thought, your mind is made up. It's time to go. To prepare for your escape, you return the panel that you'd removed from the wall to its original position, making sure that all the catches are reconnected to the mounting points. Then you prepare to do the same for the floor panel, sliding it into a position where you'll be able to replace it once you're in the crawlway. Once it's in place, you lower yourself down into the space underneath the floor, kneel down, and slowly drag the panel over the opening above you. It takes you a few attempts to get it into the correct position, but eventually you have it and all the mounts slide neatly back into the catches that had secured it in place. Now in absolute darkness, you drop to your knees and reach out with your one hand, groping at the darkness. You might finish the thing tomorrow? That's totally okay, Little Miss Yuri. There is no time limit on this. Take your time. Just the fact that you're doing it at all is super, super cool. You've got no idea what lies ahead, but you begin to crawl forward. The absolute darkness of the crawlway leaves you disoriented as you fumble your way forwards. Every now and again you hit a corner, a drop, or a rise that adjusts your trajectory. Hearing nothing but the gentle hum of the ship's systems or your own awkward shuffling, and unable to make out anything except for a dry, musty scent that has replaced the sterile smell that permeates the Gundog. Dry, musty scent that has replaced the sterile smell that permeates the Gundog. You quickly lose your sense of distance and location. Are the air scrubbers offline? Is the chief doing something? Musty scent. With nowhere to go but onwards, you continue slowly. You have no idea how long it's taken you, but you realize that you're able to distinguish the vague features of your surroundings. Sharp edges are now ever so slightly visible, and the seams and bolts that make up the inside of the crawlways have faded into view. Why do I only have one snooze? I should have 3. I've run 3 ads already. Unless they change how fast they refresh. That's weird. Fade into view. Renewed by the potential that light coming from somewhere must mean... renewed by the potential that light coming from somewhere must mean there's an opening leading into some accessible part of the ship ahead. You speed up. That's an awkward sentence. Taking advantage of your restored vision to make your way forward without incident. June incident. You turn a corner and are met with a shaft of light that is broken up by the slow and lazy rotation of an overhead fan. The computer room, maybe? Finally. As you continue toward the light, you also see that your singular path is now divided with new routes branching off in different directions, albeit with no indication of where they might lead. Oh no! I haven't been paying attention to what these are! And my map, I imagine, doesn't work. Yeah. Tasks. Explore the crawlways. Okay. As you come level with the crawlway that branches off to your left, you notice almost imperceptible sounds echoing off in the distance. You hold your breath and angle your ear towards the darkness that they come from and focus, trying to identify them. It takes— oh god, the ads are very soon. It takes some time to be able to distinguish the faint sounds properly from the general thrum of the Gundog systems, but as you concentrate, you realize you can make out the whir of motors, the sound of metal colliding with metal, and tools being used. It's too quiet to be engineering, which means that this way must lead to the hangar. H for hangar. Okay, ads are running right now. We'll be right back. We're gonna keep playing a little bit because I really want to know what the hell's going on. See you soon. Knowing that the blast door is being kept open by the device's dwindling battery power, you drop to the floor and, grabbing the PST, begin to crawl forward into engineering. Bad ass. Also, fucking horrifying. What if the doors start closing? I'd be cut in half. There's just enough clearance for you to worm your way underneath, but the smooth panel floor turning to grating makes it an uncomfortable experience. Oh no. By the time you make it halfway through, with your feet still sticking out in the aft thoroughfare, the grinding noise that had stopped with the door starts back up again. No. Yeah. You shove the PST ahead of you through the small gap, being mindful to not yank out the cable plugged into the underside of the terminal. Ignoring the grating now, you quickly squirm the rest of the way until you're clear of the door. Then, rolling onto your back, you grab the PST's cable and give it a swift tug, pulling it out of the terminal on the other side and back to you just before the blast door drops shut.
Drop pods. I got it. Yep, drop pods.
Code 1.
Permission to take it out.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's an—
Never mind. Help, Munificent. You're inbound. I'd watch your head in my line.
Charge is set. I'm gonna blow it while we're dealing with this thing.
Okay.
Fire in the hole, fire in the hole, fire in the hole.
More drop pods. Do you want to just kill the drop pods, or you want me to hit them with rockets?
If we don't kill the drop pods, they'll spawn more. Ultra has been demoed. Yep.
Oh yeah, I see him. Oh, that's way too short. Hold up.
No.
Yeah, I just see him.
We're not doing that.
Hang on. I've got a rangefinder.
He's at like 750. I just got him.
Beautiful.
Nice.
There's another one laying down 260 at 566.
I see him.
Yeah, go.
Dropped.
Gorgeous.
One shot. I should start running marksman. Oh, I see a third. Assemble?
Is the door open?
Negative. Oh, now it's open. Nice.
Hey,
What is this?
Sweet cheese.
Yes.
All in.
I really like our lats. They're very nice. Like the 212's colors was orange and white. Ours are white, red, and gray. Nice. Hell yes.
Oh, I love that.
Well, he doesn't have eyes on me, so
Yeah, he's hitting the wall, so we're not gonna get him.
yeah.
Don't worry about that little building. Eagle's about to demolish it.
Okay, wow. He has eyes on us. Ow.
Yep.
Eagle is about to demolish it.
Copy.
Right in the chest.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Okay, ads are done. Because I saw Nick, you got the best of trademark. My Eclipse Face character was named Trademark, and that was his whole thing. Was AR, augmented reality parkour racing video games. He was a Twitch streamer in that game. Super cool. I loved that character so much. Okay, so we figured out that this is the hangar. I want to figure out what all of these are, and then we can start wrapping up because, yeah. You peer down the crawlway that stretches out in front of you and do your best to make out anything that might indicate where it leads to. Despite your best efforts, all you can make out is pure darkness. There's no movement of air, sound, or smell that could indicate where it leads. Oh. As ominous as it seems, you know you can't ignore it. You have to take every opportunity if you're going to free Cassie. Wait. Stretches out in front of you that might indicate, despite your best efforts, all you can make out is pure darkness. There's no air, sound, or smell. Okay. Yeah, 100%. I've saved right here. Wow, they give you lots of slots, huh? Holy shit. I'll just put a new one right there. So this is the hangar. As you approach the crawlway that stretches out ahead of you, your nose twitches. The entire time you'd been crawling away from your quarters, all you'd smelt had been a stale musk. Not unpleasant, but a clear indicator that these crawlways were not used regularly and certainly weren't as well ventilated as the rest of the ship. You only get ads every 2 or 3 times? Oh, weird. Huh. I don't know, Miss Yuri. I don't know what that's about. That's not the first time that's happened though. Like, Twitch tells me it runs ads, and then I'll be waiting around, and I'll have people tell me, I don't have any ads. And then you're not subscribed to me, so beats me. I don't know. Not a clue. Weren't as used while ventilating the rest of the ship. Now, though, you could pick up the slight hint of something new, but also familiar. You pause to sniff the air, trying to identify the light hints of fragrance that drift your way. Taking in a few deep breaths, you pick up notes of something sweet, but also with a slight burning tang, topped off by a chemical tinge. I think I know where this leads, do you? It's either the mess hall or sickbay. As you twist to change your position in order to examine one of the new crawlways you found, you lay your hand on the wall and notice a slight but constant vibration, the engines. Running your hand along the paneling, you feel the occasional pulse of a more powerful, regular vibration. There's only one thing on this ship that creates a vibration like that. That's probably where this crawlway leads. So, hangar for sure, engines for sure, and then I don't know. This is completely quiet. This has a sweet but chemical smelling tang to it. I feel like this is sickbay. God. You think this leads to the bridge? That could make sense. The thing is, too, like, all of these show up on the rooms. Like, in the actual game, if I had paid attention, I would know that all of these have counterparts on the ship. I'm just dumb, and I don't remember that. Try this one. Heading away from the illuminated section of the crawlways that you'd momentarily stopped at, you soon find yourself in complete darkness once again. You mutter in frustration as you awkwardly twist around another corner, the snaking tunnel and the lack of any way to meaningfully track how far you've traveled, compounding your lack of awareness of where you might be on the ship. Regardless, you continue to slowly shuffle your way forward, hoping that wherever you might end up would be somewhere that could, in some way, be helpful in your efforts to prove Cassandra's innocence and deal with Vanessa, Hansen, and Haru. As you round another corner, you notice that the smell from earlier is much stronger now, the scent beginning to sting your nose and the back of your throat with every breath you take. Gotta be nearby now, let's see. Reaching upwards, you run your hand along the ceiling of the crawlway and, sure enough, it passes over what you recognize by touch to be a catch that secures a panel in place. Although it takes some amount of fumbling to unclip it in the dark, you eventually succeed, going on to repeat the process with all the others as you find them. Once the final catch is released, you position yourself near one of the panel's edges and raise it slightly, looking around to confirm your location. Oh. Oh, the tangy sweet smell, of course! God damn it. Oh, well, the captain will be in here. From your position, you're not able to see Captain Bartermuse. Mindful of doing your best not to alarm her and ensuring not to make any noise that might alert whoever's standing guard outside, you slowly slide the panel just far enough to allow you to climb out of the tunnel and into the room. Gasp. You quickly draw your hand back in disgust and flick it away from you, only realizing that you've placed it in a puddle of liquid after the shock of the sensation subsides. Gross. Looking down at your hand, you take a tentative sniff. As you'd guessed, it's the same smell that you'd noticed in the crawlway. The burning sensation that fills your nostrils reminds you more of an acetone than of a beverage, but it's the unmistakable aroma of the captain's whiskey of choice. You shift position from where you just tried to climb out and move away from the slick of whiskey, rising up into the room once you're far enough away that you won't accidentally douse yourself in the spillage. As soon as you've stood up, you look around, but don't see the captain anywhere. Captain? You whisper as loudly as you dare, doing your best not to be heard beyond the confines of the quarters. Captain. You hiss, slightly louder this time. With no response forthcoming, you sigh and move away from the open panel and further into the captain's quarters. Captain, where are you? Now finding yourself in an unpleasantly familiar situation, you head over to the annex on the right-hand side of the room and lean in through the doorway to look at the bed. Captain? You sigh, pinching the bridge of your nose with your thumb and forefinger. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. Not expecting much, you head over to the captain and crouch down by the bed, laying your hand on her shoulder and giving her a few gentle shoves. Captain, although you begin to push her harder, you still don't receive a response. Murger. Captain, come on. At this point, you're all but shaking her, but she still doesn't stir. Ung. That's how it is, huh? With a deeply exasperated sigh, you stand up and look down on the captain. Although the air scrubbing system is now working, you can still make out the powerful musk of the whiskey. Time to try somewhere else. Cool. Fantastic. What a great use of my time that was. Before we leave, I'm going to look around the cabin, see if there's anything I can do in here. But we're going to save. And I'm sorry to say, I think we're going to call it here. Because it is getting a little bit late and I need to make dinner. So. This game is so good, but I don't know how anyone could finish it in 6 to 10 hours. I'm on like hour 14 by this point. So, as always, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. We are going to quickly look at schedule. Thank you, little Miss Yuri. So we'll come back tomorrow, same time, same place. We're going to be playing the same game even. We're going to have some fun with it. And yeah, hopefully you all had fun. Thank you for the head pat. Hopefully you all had a good time. It's always fun to do these streams. I'm really enjoying playing this game. I'm happy that everyone seems to enjoy it. And yeah, if you want more of me, if you want more of my various friends, come check us out. We're at the Ghostfish Discord. And now we need to find someone to raid to. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Grandpa Katsu, because Katsu's streaming right now. What's Katsu up to? What's Katsu up to? Katsu's playing Disgaea. Or Disgaea? It's Disgaea, isn't it? Disgaea 6. Alright. So that's it. We're gonna raid out to Katsu. Tell him I said hi. Tell him I sent you. Here's my raid message. Use it or don't. It's up to you. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.